kitchen, the gridiron's cold. A million stories yet to be told. Bombers bringing the heat to the screen, Woo! You just got a vision like you've never seen. Vision like you've never seen. Mosins locking the gears in the back. We're turning the dial, making the attack. Big freaking Friday show, yeah, we own the night. Let's freaking go, the future is bright. Big freaking Friday show, we're taking the lead. Everything you want, everything you want, everything you need. Clock on the wall is ticking to 10. We're doing it all and then doing it again. I own this show, yeah, it's mine to keep. Wake up the rivals, wake up from the sleep. Big freaking Friday show, yeah, we own the night. Let's freaking go, the future is bright. Big freaking Friday show, we're taking the lead. Everything you want, everything you want, everything you need. Let's freaking go and moan on the mic. Big freaking Friday show, let's freaking go.
Let's freaking go. All right.
Let's
Welcome
freaking
to
go.
another edition of the Big Freaking Friday Show right here, as always, on the College Football Mafia channel. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown, with my two partners in all this deal. That would be Professor Wild Ute on this side and this guy down here wearing red today. John Lennon. You are John, what's his name? The English guy. The
Yeah.
singer. Elton John. Thank you. Thanks for helping me out.
You Elton John, though?
appreciate it. That's what he looks like to me.
Man, I got my furs on. I got my fuzzy glasses, my fuzzy hat. I'm just out here representing and keeping that drip for Tawtown Hawk.
I know.
Let's
That's
go.
true. You do have a reputation to keep up with. Anyway, welcome to tonight's show. We really appreciate you being here. Should be a lot of fun. We are going to be diving head first into some maybe news you haven't heard. At the same time, you're also going to be dealing with we're going to review where we are with the PCSA, the Protect College Sports Act, as some have named it. And at the end of the day, headlines that are around that, I think, are really, really important. So you first, what's on your mind about the PCSA? Is it DOA?
PCSA is DOA. It's a POS, guys. It's a big POS. Any type of government intervention, get it out of here. It's not going to happen. It's not going to prevent anything. If it did, it would cause mass realignment, hysteria. This thing is going to 24, guys. I'm telling you, like, the Big Ten's going to 24. The SEC is going to go to 20 more and stuff. There's no way to prevent it. I don't care what you try to put into place. It ain't going to work. It's just seriously, just these discussions are crazy and stuff we're having with PCSA and everything else. It's just like noise that goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Nothing ever happens. And so that's my take on it. It's DOA. It's irrelevant. It's moot. It's not going to change anything. And it's just more noise.
Mowing.
It's hanging on by a thumbnail. We're all standing around the bed waiting for it to happen, but there is still a pulse. So as long as they got a breath in their body and a heartbeat, the PCSA lives.
Until the second week in August, when everybody goes on vacation and he's still
Right.
not a vote. So
again, they worked through the night last night. Maybe they're still working through the night tonight.
Did you see Bob Thompson's thing? He said, yeah, working through the night, burning candles last night is one thing. Doing it through the weekend is something else. And he's got no proof. He hasn't heard from anybody that they're still banging on it as they go into this weekend. So whatever. We'll find out. Time will tell. But that's certainly a headline that we want to feature in the show tonight. A couple other things that I wanted to bring up, and then we're going to get to comments quickly, and then we're going to dive right into news. I want to share this with you guys. I don't know if you saw this, but I got two of these. I'm going to show one at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to show one at the other.
I
So
know a lot of people.
So this is the head ball coach for the basketball team at the UNLV Running Rebels. And just listen to what he has to say here.
I know a lot of people are trying to become owners of this NBA team coming in 2029. I have told people, why? Buy the college basketball team. It's legal now. You can be the owner of the UNLV Running Rebels men's basketball team, and it's a lot less expensive. You don't have to spend over $1 billion to own our team. I'm asking for 10 to 12 million to own our team, and you still get a great tax write-off, and you can be as involved, and you can tell everyone you're the owner of the team.
Man, become an owner of a team. I have one other that actually came from a more important coach, I would like to think, but I'm going to do that later in the show. So that's just a preview of some of the stuff that we're going to cover tonight. But I want you all to think about, would you like to become an owner of your college football team? All right, let's do some shout outs quickly. We got 2 super chats getting us out.
Let's go.
Let's start with these. College football peek around the corner. Greg Flugar, peek around the corner, friend of the show, mentor to all of us. Really appreciate all Greg's work. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Greg. He starts us off, $10 super chat. I may never pick another college football game wrong again. Signed, Greg the Gold.
Greg the Goldie. Greg the Goldie. Look at that Goldie dance down there.
I'm not sure that's the That's hilarious. And then we have Becky Go Huskies, $5 super chat. Also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia team, and been with us from almost the beginning. $5 super chat. No Big Ten expansion because it'll be illegal, but we can carry the SEC after we split from the NCAA.
Right.
Okay.
Did anyone really think that we're going to stop at 19 teams? Like, did anyone really think, like, oh, this is really going to happen? The Big 12 is going to stay together forever. The ACC, yay! Really? Did anyone actually think that's going to happen? That's insanity, guys. Like, seriously, some of the stuff that we see is nuts. It ain't staying at 19, guys. It's going on no matter what. It's going to get bulldozed through. That's how life works. It ain't fair, baby.
Moen?
Well, you brought it up. We're nuts. I have to play it. The latest.
Well, folks, this is Dr. Phil. And let me tell you, these 3 characters, Ute, Bomber, and Moen, might just need a little visit to their local psych ward. But I hear they're dabbling in the Big Freaking Friday Show, a real gateway for college football sickos.
Yes, for sure. Dude. We are, too. We all are very, very sick. Well done, Moen. Another brilliant piece of producing there. Kenneth Boehner, member for 12 months, been with us for a full year. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for being here with us for this long. We appreciate your loyalty. Happy Friday from rain-soaked and moist North Carolina. We need some of that rain, Ute.
Oh, my gosh, we do. 100 degrees right now. It was 109 a couple weeks ago. We're scorching out here.
Dry. We're going to be the driest state in the nation here pretty quick.
That's right.
It's just absolutely crazy. We'll go back to the top of the show. Sorry. I picked the wrong thing. Buckshot Kid, first one in the house, wants to say, oh, hey, at the College Football Mafia. Thank you so much for being with us forever, Buckshot Kid, and being a member of the College Football Mafia family. We appreciate you very, very much. Jan Holk says, hey, y'all, all the way from Slovenia. Hey. What's up, Jan? Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you on a Friday, I guess Saturday morning for you. We appreciate you being here. Skaven, yes. Hello, gentlemen. Go Big Red in the house. Also a valuable member of the OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Old Dad 75 says, yo, 36 days. We're counting down the fun. This has been the longest off season because it's been the busiest off season I think we have ever seen. It's been absolutely insane. Old Dad just turned 75, and that's in his name. So Manic Reactions claims that he was third. I didn't do the math, but he probably was.
Does Manic Reactions have a kitten or a dog on his head, guys? Is that a kitten or a dog?
I think it's a dog. Yeah, it's a little dog.
Okay. I always was wondering that. I needed confirmation and clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let's see here. Daniel, the other Gygax. Hi, everyone. Going to have to catch the show later, taking Mrs. Gygax to dinner.
Let's go.
Good for you, Daniel. That's what you're supposed to do. And thank you for helping us around here on the team. We appreciate you so much. MGC Sooner, representing the Oklahoma State, I almost said, University of Oklahoma Sooners in the house, says, hey, y'all. Bruce Harris Law checking in, says, boomer.
Oh, my gosh.
Saying sooner.
Sooner.
We need to work on that. Next week, we'll do boomer sooner. You and me. We'll get that done.
It's boomer sooner. Boomer.
Is it?
When you go to the games. Yeah, that's what they say. It's not like, it's like boomer sooner.
No. Oh,
so
yeah. I don't know
Oklahoma
what
games in stadium. That's how they say it.
Okay. I didn't know that. Caleb Ramirez, another OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Hi, everyone. Big show tonight, and go Bucks. Appreciate you, Caleb. Super fan of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Bob Swanger, super fan of the Penn State Nittany Lions. Another OG member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, hey, College Football Mafia, good to have you here tonight. MM1012MD, I think, is a newer member, but we're very grateful for him being here. He might have even gotten a membership as a gift. Please go and watch all our on-demand stuff for members. MM1012MD. I think you'll see the value. We'd love to have you stick around. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Duke, Miami, Notre Dame opens the gates for Cal, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Utah, UVA for that last spot. That's what he's saying, you.
Maybe so. I think it's going to expand out to 6 personally. And I think it always came down to on the Western Front. It's completely irrelevant what happens to the East, in my opinion. The Western Front's going to have to get filled out with 6 teams to pot it off, guys, in the future. You're protecting investment in LA. I said that for 2 or 3 years. The question is it going to be Stanford and Utah or Stanford and Cal? That's how I see it, 100%. I think it's going to be Stanford and Utah. I've been on that from the very beginning. And so I'm still in the same place. You got to fill out the West. You got to protect USC, the investment with Oregon and Washington. It's a million miles away from everybody else. You do Eastern expansion again, it even increases the travel worse for those teams. No chance. You're going to go out West. 2 teams. Who's going to be out of those 3?
Okay, Moen?
Yeah, I have some information on this I'm going to share a little later. So I'm going to hold.
Okay, that's good. That little later will be just a few minutes, so get tuned up. Make sure you're doing your hamana, working those lips and your lips and your tongue. Movie Time Blues. 4-letter can't control realignment, no matter what the sweet crowd say. What does that mean, Moen?
I think he means sweet tea.
Okay, sweet tea crowd say. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Movie Time Blues is always great to see you. That's me. Sorry, I didn't mean to pick my own. Edward, the Auburn Tiger. Great to have you with us, man.
Let's
we
go.
really appreciate having more SEC representation around here at the College Football Mafia. He says, let's go. Edward, the Auburn Tiger's been around a long time. BYU football, another member of the College Football Mafia family. I don't know, OG maybe. I can't see his display, but he says hi, everyone. Anyway,
Hey.
And then Moen, I'm going to let you do this one.
Notorious MDCT rocking in from wherever she's from. I need to know the initials of where you're from, Mama Duck Clemson Tigers, so I can keep this rolling. Notorious MDCT, thank you for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks for being a member now for a few months. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, she says. Love Sports 9883. Let's go, Mountaineers. Good to have you here, Love Sports. If you're new, by the way, let's do a quick plug for what we're talking about. You can see our names. You can see our Twitter handles. Please follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and consider becoming a member of the College Football Mafia family. Moen, how do they go about doing that?
You can become a member of the College Football Mafia, gift a membership, leave a super chat, leave a super sticker. All those things help us out tremendously in keeping the channel up and running. We just switched to a new membership tier this month. We're dropping lots of members-only content. You should
Absolutely.
definitely check it out. And you can do that by clicking the little cash icon down there at the bottom of the chat window. From there, like I said, you can become a member, gift a membership, leave a super chat, leave a super sticker.
Thank you so much, Moen. We appreciate you doing that every time. Runs with scissors. That sounds scary. Please don't do that. That's a PSA. Thanks for being here tonight. You might be new as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter. Get involved. We love interfacing with members, and we answer DMs. So, yeah. Thanks for being here tonight, saying hey yo. C John 3006 says Jamiroquai. I can't remember that reference.
Oh man, you don't remember the Jamiroquai video?
I remember the reference. I remember the name. I don't remember the reference.
It was a music video on MTV where he was moving. Virtual Insanity was his song. Don't remember that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you got to remember that Nate did not grow up on MTV. He was watching VH1.
That's absolutely not true. I saw the very first episode, very first hour of broadcasting on MTV. Did you?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
I'm
I'm sticking by the fact you were watching VH1 while I was watching MTV.
Okay, maybe. If it was during the 90s, Moen, I was raised in a family. I didn't do anything. So I don't even really remember the 90s. Elvin Gully. Let's see. Elvin Gully. Yeah. Newer member to the College Football Mafia family. Appreciate you being here tonight. SEC made Cruz Cantwell tap out. I don't think it was necessarily the SEC.
It was just the bad ideas.
Trying to do everything at one time instead of doing small bills and planning it and negotiating and all those things that used to go into. Has nobody seen It's Just a Bill? I'm Just a Bill. From what was that? Rocky? No, not Rocky.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock. I knew. See, I had Rock at least. Anyways. That's what they taught me when I was like 8, so I can remember that, or 6 or something. Mark's Holy Grail, another valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, and also somebody we appreciate so much for engaging and getting involved in our content. We've done shows with him. Appreciate him being here tonight. Happy Friday, Bomber, Wild Ute Moen, and the College Football Mafia chat. So he's shouting out the chat. Just a couple more here. Conundrum. Cody Campbell asked Cruz and Cantwell for his money.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang. I'll give you that's a winner right there, baby.
Poor Comrade Cody. He should have learned that as soon as you give a government official money, it's gone.
Well, that's
already been spent.
for sure. Daryl CRH says, hi. Good to have you here
Hey.
again,
Hey,
Daryl.
hey.
Make sure, and I'm asking you, if you didn't subscribe before, we asking you to subscribe now. We are on a flyer again. We have reached a new peak for activity, and we are getting followers like we've never had, subscribers like we've never had, and that's because of all the content we're putting out. So thank you so much for all the new people that are watching us. Our Friday night shows are just getting bigger and bigger, by the way. Becky, go Huskies. Did I ever read that? No.
Yeah.
Another $5.
It's a super chat so nice you want to read it twice. Go ahead.
Well,
Do it again.
no big expansion because it's illegal, because we can carry the SEC after we split from the NCAA. I was looking for these newer ones down here. To Town Hawk, right on cue. Moen's wearing his drip to Town Hawk. I'm not sure if you saw that. I'll give you a second. You can see him here in just a second. And valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, $2 super chat. The only thing DOA is my OPP on TGIF. No DDBY.
Moen, translate, please.
Moen,
I got all that.
please.
He said the only thing done on arrival is my OPP, which is, of course, the Naughty by Nature song OPP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which, other people
do
something
know
on
that.
that.
Gotcha.
TGIF is Thank God It's Friday, and then DDBY is Day by Day.
Okay, anybody who doesn't know what Moen does, this is one of his superpowers. He reads and negotiates your comments, and he understands them. You and I don't get them all the time.
We get a little lost
And then-
sometimes.
Then he knows these acronyms. So thank you so much, Moen.
We're Utah boys. So are you
Well,
talking?
I'm from Washington, technically, but yeah. Let's see here. And then there's your drip. Moen, you want to explain to Town Hawk what you got going there?
We got the red fur on. We got the fur hat on. We got the fur glasses on. We're running the scarlet fur tonight. Keeping it warm here on a little bit chilly night here in Ohio. So
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be about 91 at 11 tonight here in Utah. James Jones, Utah in 2028, you would pay $76 million plus lose all TV revenues from football and basketball until 2031. Actually, if that was to happen, James Jones, you're not going to see any. Well, if you're Utah, that school's not going to see any media money for probably 10 years.
Yeah, maybe like it's going to be pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get the invite, you do whatever it takes, guys.
Absolutely
You take
agree.
no payout forever, right? That's why
Yep,
you got the
I agree.
Ocho Capital deal.
Well, yeah. Mosito. Sorry, Moen again.
no, you got it, Mosito.
Mosito, I got it. Okay. Hello, College Football Mafia. Great to have you here, Mosito. We appreciate you. And I'm going to end with Morris Simmons coming in right at the end of the check-in, saying, hello, everyone. Go Noles, Florida State. He is hoping for an SEC call-up. All right, Moen, I'm going to turn some time over to you. I'm not even going to bump it. You just jump right in, brother.
Well, first, I want to say, Evil Badger, $5 holler. Wow,
Very
dude,
good.
you'll hear a bunch of expletives from the student section at Camp Randall in 2 years. Get ready, Utah boy, because when those Wisconsin Badger fans have had 6 to 8 beers in them and a bunch of brats out in the tailgate area,
Oh my gosh.
they do not hold back. They do not hold back. They will jump around. They will actually create a seismic shift up there. It's very fun if you've never been in Camp Randall Stadium. It's just one of those experiences you have to go to, especially if you're a Big Ten fan. Definitely check it out. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Evil Badger. By the way, just want to play this here for you.
Hey, it's Joe Rogan. When I'm not out there doing some awful stand-up or hosting my podcast, I'm tuned in to Bomber,
Yes.
and Moen on the Big Freaking Friday show. Those guys are hilarious.
Let's go.
You got to check it
Let's
out.
go.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank Joe. Thank you much. Appreciate that.
All right. Moen.
Anyway, moving on. As Ute continues to play with the media assets.
Let's go, Badgers. I can't wait to get to Camp Randall. Swear at me all you want. I'm ready, man. Let's go.
He is like an 8-year-old when it comes to those things you put in there, Moen.
It's beautiful.
You're just tempting him.
Well, let's talk a little bit about conference realignment. It wasn't
Okay.
anything I had on my bingo card this week. I figured it was going to be all PCSA talk. And, of course, they kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. Russ Dellinger, who still owes me a thank you for correcting his version of not to the correct spelling and then deleting the tweet and acting like I never corrected it. You owe me an apology or a thank you, Ross Dellinger. Let's make that happen. He said we were going to get this report late Tuesday, Wednesday. Here we are Friday. We ain't got any finalized language for the PCSA. So
DOA.
I called my friend from Cowtown, USA, Mr. Wizard, and I said, what in the hell is going on up there? And he said, well, it's crazy. I have to get back to you. It's changing by the hour. They're ordering in food. People aren't leaving. They're staying up late. It's going back and forth between Cantwell and Cruz, and then Cruz and the Big Ten SEC will have something they agree on, but then Cantwell will say no. And then the Big Ten and the SEC will have something they agree on with Cantwell, and then Cruz will say no. And all the while, Cody Campbell is gritting his teeth in the corner. So that's where we are with the PCSA. I don't know that this makes it into this summer's voting roll calls. I just don't see them working through the weekend. That's not the way politicians and commissioners work. You know, and obviously Tony Petitti's got to get ready for Big Ten Media Days this week. So when are we going to see that final revised language? I do not know. Might be next week. Might be the week after. But they've only got 8 legislative days left in the summer calendar, and then they're on break. They've worked a rough 4 weeks here, people. They got to take a 3-week break. So we're going to let them do that. But in our talking, we were talking, and I said, well, let's look at this. If the Big Ten, is the Big Ten going to stick at 19? Was my first question. And his answer was no. It's a non-starter. The Big Ten doesn't even want to stick at 20. They're looking at 22 to 24. The SEC, a little more lenient in those regards, but they would want at least 20. And the reason they would want at least 20 is just in case they cannot get North Carolina in without North Carolina State, and they could not get Virginia in with Virginia Tech. Which brings me to the next topic. Virginia. The University of Virginia is an interesting topic. Mr. Wizard told me Virginia and Duke are 2 top candidates for the Big Ten, but you will not get Virginia and Duke. It's one or the other.
What?
It's one or the other. Miami is sitting in a very good position.
I think Miami's. I think that's in the bag.
When it comes to the University of Virginia and Duke, listen. Well, there's things that have been discussed and going on. We've talked about Duke for a year and a half on the channel. Their closeness to Michigan, et cetera, sweetening the pot for Michigan, as it were. We talked about the fact Duke went around to every member of the Big Ten Conference making this pitch. Duke was not the only one. The Big Ten has had extensive conversations with people at the University of Virginia. And they have described it as there are not going to be any more interviews between those 2 candidates. The Big Ten has everything they need from both of them. It's just going to be a matter of making a decision on Duke or Virginia.
What?
Duke or Virginia. And Miami's in a good position. So Duke or Virginia is the chalk, according to Mr. Wizard. It's going to be a choice between those 2. I kind of probed a little bit, and I said, well, what about Virginia Tech? And he said, well, Virginia Tech may be taken care of. So Virginia Tech might be a high-level team for the SEC. If the Big Ten were to take the University of Virginia, obviously the SEC wants the University of Virginia. But since the Board of Visitors, I think it's called, or Board of something like that, since most of those seats have been replaced by the current governor, and that state is becoming much more blue than red, a lot of people within the University of Virginia system absolutely do not want to be in the SEC. They want to be aligned with the Big Ten. It fits them much more. They have an NCI designated cancer center, obviously a huge endowment, high quality academics. For the Big Ten, they got to look at this is our entry to the gateway. A lot of graduates from Virginia, their first jobs are in Washington, D.C., in the federal government. So, it's an entree to them into the White House and the legislature and federal district courts, among other things. But the main point I want to bring up, and that's why you saw it on the thumbnail, Virginia and Duke jostling over that crown, it's come down to Virginia or Duke.
Wow.
That is going to be one of the selections for the Big Ten. Virginia or Duke.
Is it possible that both of them still go at different points in time, or is it like, hey, we're only going to take one, the other one is no shot after we take one?
As of right now, it's Virginia or Duke. What happens later down the road, I don't know. If Virginia gets passed over and say the Big Ten takes Duke, they may end up deciding that they want to go SEC. But right now, the academics, the money people at the University of Virginia, they're lining up behind the Big 12 or Big 10 bandwagon. They think that their university fits in much more to the Big Ten than it does into the SEC. And they feel that if there's a scheduling agreement between the Big Ten and the SEC, which he also mentioned that those discussions still are ongoing. They have not completely broken down. They feel they might be able to continue their rivalry with North Carolina as a cross-conference game, out-of-conference game, getting that scheduled every year. Likewise, we'll have to figure out what they're going to do with Virginia Tech if Virginia Tech goes SEC. But, it's been told to me that they have everything they need from those two schools, and that leads me to believe they probably have everything they need from all these candidates.
Mhm.
They're probably, we've got everything. Don't call us, we'll call you.
I think that's probably been the case for a while. Outside of some of the
It might
later,
be.
like Duke's more of a newer. We've talked about it, but they might not have really talked to them about what details are and whatnot. Most of these schools have done this years ago.
Yes, but this is my first actual verification of it from Columbus.
Right.
So
Right.
Take it for what you will. There's a realignment nugget for you. I know Greg did a Holy Smokes Theater. I didn't get to watch it. I was busy doing stuff. I don't know how he had it set up, but it's going to be Duke or Virginia, and the University of Miami Hurricanes are in a good position. Not great position, good position. So if it is capped at 20, that's probably your 20. It's Miami and Duke or Miami and Virginia.
Wow.
Now let's get some memberships. Let's get some super chats. We're dropping information, new nuggets to you all night here on the College Football Mafia. Definitely interesting things. I think that's going to shake up some people out there.
What do you think about that, Ute?
I mean, I think that's pretty wild news right there, because they both were in serious contention for Big Ten. They still might be, but if it goes to 20, and like Moen's saying, there's no evidence right now that they both would get in if it's an either or, that basically that changes the board up a lot. It really does. I would have thought that both of them would have got in the Big Ten, like in a 22, 24 team scenario and stuff. I guess it could happen still, but if it's not as concrete like that as Moen's saying, it's pretty shocking. That really means that's really good news for Georgia Tech, guys. It's really good news for Georgia Tech if things expand out, because you can't just take Miami. I've said that a million times. Miami's not going to be on its own island. You can take Duke with them and stuff, but you need one more down there at least. So Georgia Tech is probably sitting real pretty, super happy with this type of development, because the fight in the Southeast and stuff with Big Ten expansion is really going through Miami, Duke, Virginia. And of course, Notre Dame's just going to get in whenever they want.
Yeah, but here's the thing I want you to remember, that cap number in the PCSA.
Right.
If that cap number is 22, they're only taking 2 Southeast schools. The other one is going to be Notre Dame, and whoever Notre Dame decides to bring along with them.
Yeah, Notre Dame's not joining the
Stanford
conference.
or Cal.
Yeah, it's going to be Stanford. Notre Dame's taking Stanford.
Notre Dame's not joining a conference.
Well, I mean, look, again, we're playing all hypotheticals here.
Right.
If the SEC, if the number is 20, the SEC can go grab 4. If the Big Ten takes Virginia, that gives them Virginia Tech, North Carolina State, North Carolina, and either Clemson or Florida State.
Yeah, I see that.
And if the Big Ten takes Miami as their number 20, that's one. There'd be one major brand left in the ACC.
Well, 19 would be Miami.
Well, Okay, whatever. They'd be 19 or 20. Okay.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It doesn't
okay.
matter what number.
Okay, yeah, sure, I got you. I was just doing it in my head. You're right.
But
I
would
got
the
you.
ACC remain stable, having lost North Carolina State, and both
No.
Virginia schools,
No.
and a Clemson? So Notre Dame
No.
would have to make a decision at that point. So if the
Yeah.
number is 22,
Sure.
and the SEC goes to 20, the Big Ten goes to 20, Notre Dame may not have a lot of choice.
Okay. All right.
They may have to make that jump, and then if it is 22, I think it's Notre Dame +1.
Okay. Ute, anything else you want to? I mean, that's
that is-
news nobody else is really talking about. So
No, that's breaking right here. Moen's the one saying this. It's coming from Moen, guys. So Virginia or Duke, like we've been. Here's the tricky thing: is Virginia's been invited by Big Ten in the past. We know Big Ten wants Virginia. It's a perfect alignment, academics. Like you've got Maryland there, so a little bit of redundancy in the market, but still it's Virginia. The Big Ten wants them. You got to get into North Carolina though. In my mind, it's Duke. Duke's got to get in over that.
Here's the argument I made to Mr. Wizard, and he heard me out, and he didn't really have a response to this. You have to resolve the Virginia Tech thing to take Virginia. The only way you can take Virginia is if Virginia Tech is taken care of somehow, either by getting invited to the SEC, there's some kind of payoff, there's some kind of agreement to always schedule that game, Virginia versus Virginia Tech. And I think Virginia Tech's a better fit for the SEC than Virginia is.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's something the Big Ten has to take in consideration. With Duke, they don't have to take that into consideration. Yeah. It's a private school. There's no government entanglements. They're not going to have to drag any other school with them or be connected to any other school. Duke would likely play North Carolina twice a year in basketball still. It's too big of a matchup. But I also want to remind you, we heard the news that Duke, Michigan, everybody kind of backed out of that game for Amazon.
Well, they were forced. They didn't back out of it. They were forced to break it up by the conference.
Right. Which I think might have been
the Big Ten.
Duke showing some kind of deferment to the Big Ten. Duke could have obviously fought that if they really wanted to, but I think it was just a matter where they said, "Hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. We're out. We'll get somebody else."
We got you.
I think. Well, they did bring in somebody else, Texas Tech. They replaced him within about 45 minutes of the news dropping. But I think the larger point is when the deal was announced, you were pretty high on Duke just for that reason, right? They got this Amazon deal, and it's this big deal and everything. And in the news, it was a big story. What was it? 3 games, right? There was the Michigan game, and who else did?
I believe it's 3 games a year for over 3 years.
Okay. Oh, maybe that's what it was. So, and Amazon wants to be in sports, but the Big Ten, I don't think they ran it by the Big Ten, Michigan. Every indication looks to me like they were asking for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. They did it, and they'd hope they could get it through.
I agree with you, but the fact that they dropped this with so little of a fight, it could just, and I could be wrong, could be absolutely wrong. This isn't something Mr. Wizard told me, but this just could be Duke showing that they're a good teammate, and they don't want to upset the Big Ten apple cart. And for Amazon, Amazon might, they may have whispered in Amazon's ear that, hey, maybe you're getting North Carolina Duke at least once a year on your chance. So
okay, we got a new membership. Bruce Harris Law is now a member of the College Football Mafia family. Moen, what does that mean? What comes with that?
Bruce Harris, you have now become a member of the College Football Mafia family. I want to thank you for doing that. That gets you access to all our members-only content. That includes Moen Confidential videos, the members-only live streams that we do twice a month. We do a minimum of 2 member live streams a month, a minimum of 2 members-only videos. July, we've been rocking, man. I think we've done 3 member videos, 2 member streams. I think we're going to do a member stream next week as well. In addition to that, Bruce, you get to use the custom emojis in chat. They're
Yes.
right there underneath CFB Mafia family. We got some really great ones in there. For those that did not see it last time, we have added Greg the Cooler. Put him up here. There's
I
Greg
love
the
that.
Cooler.
That's fantastic.
And we've added the pack of the mythical Tarletons that you can't get anymore. Those are now in chat. You can take a look at them. I just posted them in chat. You get access to those, and you get a little loyalty badge next to your name. You'll see a lot of good fellas, a lot of wise guys, a lot of OGs in here, and I love those OGs.
That's people who have been with us over a year and a half or 2 years. So yeah, that's
so.
fantastic.
I mean, it's really cool, and every month you keep that membership up, that loyalty badge will go up and up and up. You'll climb the ranks in the organization. We'll open the books on you, and you might have to push a button on a couple guys, but that's what we do.
Not very often. Our initiation, there's no blood or anything. So, Doc Gibb, super fan of the North Carolina State Wolfpack in the house. $2 super chat. Will SEC skip North Carolina versus taking UNC and NC State?
No, the SEC is going to get North Carolina. I think that the pressure cooker is eventually going to loosen up North Carolina from NC State, and NC State's going to get concessions just like Halford did. But hey, it's not outside the realm of possibility to both jump. I think that's less likely and everything. I still think that it's going to be UNC and UVA in the SEC. I don't think NC State's going to go along with that, but they're going to get handsomely rewarded for letting UNC go. And then they'll have to make the decision what's best for the Wolfpack to stay in the ACC at that point or to consider the Big 12.
Yeah, the interesting thing is when we talked, he didn't mention what school was voting for which school if it came down to Duke, Virginia. He did, we have mentioned before, as I've talked about, and I've had this confirmed through a Michigan booster. Michigan has been very straightforward about wanting Duke. But I'm sure you've got schools like Maryland who is definitely pushing for UVA. You probably, even if you're taking Miami's probably pushing for UVA. So who knows? It's going to be dependent. You got to remember, Penn State wants Miami. Ohio State wants Miami.
Right. I think Miami is a shoo-in.
Fox definitely wants Miami.
Yeah, I see that. Brand. Fox is about brand. Oregon is the same thing. But let me I really want to dive into this because this is news that everybody's not talking about. We've been talking about PCSA and NIL playing players and stuff like this. So this argument or discussion around UVA versus Duke is fascinating because UVA is the premier brand in the Mid-Atlantic. I mean, it's easy to see where they're just fantastic at academics.
Mm-hmm.
They're AAU. They're extremely tight when it comes to research. Yes. They mark all of these things that we've been talking about UVA forever. I mean, it's a champagne school. It literally is. And so it was an easy conversation to have. But Duke now is coming in and saying, we'll come for free. Like we talked about, SMU option, 10 years, we take minimal to no media dollars, and we want to be in the Big Ten for the next 100 years, that type of a thing. Which do you, and I'm asking both of you, which do you guys think is more important? The money, which is essentially what Duke is doing. They're buying their way in, or everything else, which is University of Virginia. I find it hard to believe they would take the money, Big Ten now, they would take the money over the academics, the research, and athletics.
I would say that Duke gives both. Duke is like an elite academic university, elite, like with massive research. It's
a private, small school. It doesn't have a huge graduate base, all these other things. UVA is they are the
flagship.
Premier.
It's the flagship, right?
Yeah.
Here's like the thing to think about though. Like if you can't have UNC. Of course, they're going to want UNC. If they get Big Ten gets UNC, they don't go for Duke. Duke doesn't come along.
No.
So Duke is the second choice, but you want to get in North Carolina based on the growth of the state. It's more important than going and getting into Virginia. But the problem for Big Ten is with the Maryland ad that you added, you already have DC. And that's the market that Virginia brings. So you get a little redundancy in the market. So there's so much bang for the buck with Duke because you're getting a new market. And plus they're willing to pay their way in. Plus you get elite academics. Plus there's too many things that make sense. Duke's going to win this game over UVA, given just the two of them combined. Like just, hey, which one do you take? It's Duke for those reasons.
Okay.
Listen, I think there's pros and cons for each team. But as I've discussed on the channel before, Duke has went around and done personalized pitches for every Big Ten school. That's not something I think UVA can bring to the table. And
Why?
I'm saying UVA is great. UVA is a Big Ten school that's not in the Big Ten.
Yes.
If you just looked at it and we did a blind taste test, you would go, that's a Big Ten school.
Yes. I would have taken UVA before I took Maryland.
Oh, yeah, I think they would have, too. I think they would have loved to have UVA before Maryland. But UVA didn't want to move at the time. So, and the other thing I would give credit for, Duke is in the Ivy Plus library system. If you can pull Duke into the Big Ten Academic Alliance, it might help other schools that are in that IPLC, including Stanford, to join the Big Ten. So that's a huge weight that getting them to leave the IPLC for the BTAA, the Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium. They both, I believe, have NCI designated cancer centers for each of them. So, I mean, you could just sit here and wait. We could weigh out the pros and cons all day.
Maybe we should do that.
I don't know. But here's the thing. I don't know. I know Penn State wants Miami. I know Ohio State wants Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know what Penn State's thinking on Duke or Virginia. I don't know what Ohio State's thinking on Duke or Virginia. I don't know what Indiana's thinking on Duke or Virginia. That's the thing. It's going to be these schools are going to have to decide. The power schools, Ohio State and Penn State and Iowa, are probably going to get Miami, and that's going to make them happy. Now, how do you make the other people happy? Is it Virginia?
Right, like a trade vote type of a situation. I got you.
And like Bomber brought up, and I brought up, it's big. UVA is a Big Ten school. I mean,
it really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic school. There's so much history there. Thomas Jefferson. It's a beautiful campus too. I don't know if anybody's ever actually been to UVA.
I've never been to the campus.
Yeah,
no.
it's a gorgeous campus. And I know they suck at football. They're okay at basketball depending on the season, but you know, that's what you're getting Miami for. You're getting Miami for the brand. You know, Duke does give you a basketball brand, but not really a strong football brand. I think their football brand's as strong as UVA's is.
I think you have done a comparison side by side, Virginia and Duke? I would love to see a 8-minute video on that.
It's real close, guys. And for everything that you've been talking about, it's like, what new markets do you want to get into, though?
Right.
Like, if you went in Virginia, like, you're leaving a gaping hole in North Carolina. And, like, in North Carolina, the state of North Carolina is the premier territory that both conferences want. Why would you do that? I just that doesn't make any sense, because we're talking about new markets. Like, you have to get into that state. You're not going to NC State's not AAU. And so it's Duke or UNC. If UNC's off the board, you got to take him. You've got to. And like, UVA was a shoo-in in the past. They got invited. They rejected Big Ten. Maryland got invited, and I was in conference. And now you've got market redundancy. Now you've got a problem like that you didn't have before. So you're not as in good a position. Look, I'm with you guys. The UVA is a Big Ten school. Guess who else is? Cal Berkeley. Guess who else might not get in the Big Ten? Cal Berkeley. They're in the same type of situation. Especially if you get Stanford right before that, like it. So these schools that are Big Ten schools, they're not going to get. Some of them aren't going to get in the Big Ten, and it's probably going to be UVA. If it's truly one or the other, it's going to be Duke over UVA.
Okay. Listen, I would just say this. I excuse me, Bomber. I'll just be real quick here.
Go ahead.
There are people in the Big Ten pushing for UVA. It would not be UVA versus Duke if it was overwhelmingly Duke right now. So there are universities in the Big Ten that are saying, we want Virginia. There are definitely probably people in the Big Ten saying, we want Duke. But, I mean, it's not as cut and dry as you think, I mean, there is definitely support for both of these schools in the Big Ten. Who wins out?
Well, which one do the media companies want, UVA or Duke?
I don't think the
Duke.
media companies in particular want either of them for football.
Well, right, but like
I agree with
other.
that. Football is realignment. Realignment is football.
Right. You're getting
Right, and like
Miami for-
if football is
not
the same for
basketball.
both, well, Fox is still airing basketball games for on the contract. So Duke's maybe the
Yeah.
best basketball in the whole nation. Like
It's the
guys,
top.
it's not. I guess like I don't think it's very difficult. Like Moan, you said like there's like mixed emotions maybe because of relationships, but media companies going to want Duke over UVA, and then like the academics are a wash, and you get into a no market. It's kind of simple, in my mind's eye.
I love the clarity.
Like, for me, it's just
love
like
it.
if it's
When
really
you're
either
passionate
or.
about it. No. You're passionate about it. It always gives me pause when you or Mo and really get passionate about something, because I'm like, what am I missing here? Like, what am I not seeing? So I appreciate that. And I bet you there's a lot of people that are watching the show right now or will watch it on demand that will absolutely agree with you. There's no doubt about it. $10 super chat from Jim Skinner, also a valuable member of the college football mafia family. In exchange for protections from lawsuits, restricting athletes' 5-year eligibility, no 5-year independent stays for new members, and a cap on NIL, the Big Ten and SEC will agree to a 20 school size cap. I always thought it was going to be, if there was going to be a cap, it was going to be 20, but I don't even like the caps. But yeah, I don't know.
If there was a 20 cap in the Big Ten at 2 spots, it's going to be Notre Dame, Stanford. So
No,
if there's just 2 more,
Stanford. I think it's Miami, Stanford.
I think it's going to be Notre Dame, Stanford. Like,
Okay.
you guys remember all the chatter and stuff years ago about like Stanford sources saying that linkage with Notre Dame, like that was real and everything. That's been forgotten for a long time. But like at the end of the day, Notre Dame's going to have to move and jump in. And if Notre Dame wants them to take Stanford, I think it's going to happen. Miami, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like Miami, obviously, they should get in, but like you never know. Notre Dame could mess that up because I don't think Notre Dame's necessarily going to choose Miami. Like, not like they have a bad relationship, but like it's Stanford, Notre Dame, private schools. Like it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
SEC, yeah, that'd be interesting too.
Moen, thoughts on that particular?
Yeah, listen, if it's 20, I don't think it's 20. I don't think the Big Ten can accept 20. I really don't. Like I said, if it was worst case scenario, they might bite at 21. That gets them to Southeastern schools or Notre Dame and Stanford, and they still get Miami. But I think the Big Ten, they want 22 to 24. Ideally, they don't want this cap in there at all. Their feelings are, and the feelings of their lawyers in Rosemont, and I know the feelings of the lawyers in Birmingham are, we can sue for this provision because it's unconstitutional based on rights of free association.
That hasn't been proven that would work, but it is an legal argument.
There's a lot of high-paid lawyers.
A lot of different people looking at it. And then out of nowhere, Evil Badger 10.
Let's go.
New memberships to the College Football Mafia family. Moen, hit it.
Absolutely. Those went to MGC Sooner, Trevor Ricci, Texas,
Let's go.
DJ Gaming,
Let's go.
Ms. Buckeye 99,
Let's go.
Steven 1994 WPS, Don McCloy 3801, Green Eyes 75248, Mark the Legend, and of course the man with the satin voice, Morris Simmons, the Florida State
Morris is
Seminoles.
awesome.
You guys are all new members, thanks to our good friend
Thank
Ryan
you.
Willie, and he's now a
Let's
good
go.
friend of yours as well. Make sure if you're in the chat. Oh, Edward the Auburn Tiger also received a gifted membership.
Let's go.
Excellent.
If you received a gifted membership from Ryan Willie, make sure you thank him in the chat. He is our Wisconsin brother. We are praying that Wisconsin shocks the world and beats the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But I told God damn it. I told Ryan that if Notre Dame just covers for me, and Ryan is insisting that Notre Dame will not beat the spread on that game, I'm going to put that bet in, Ryan. I am definitely putting that bet in. I think we decided it was 21. I said I would like it to be 21.5. I think all the money's going to be pouring in on Notre Dame, so I think I can get that number up to 21.5. So
just by yourself, right? Just betting by yourself, you can move the number.
That's right. Let's play some stuff for Ryan since he did such a generous
in fact,
donation.
we got a bunch of sounders to do, Moen, if you want to do that. Let's go.
Thank you for that. And let's see what else we got here. Where is my Badger sounder here?
There we go.
There's my favorite right there.
3 Badgers.
I love that guy.
Badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking Badgers.
What the heck is that guy? That money dance guy. What is that thing?
I love him.
Every time I see that, it's like, what is this guy?
He is awesome. I absolutely love that guy.
He is making it rain. I know you brought a super chat up before that. You want to bring that back up again?
Sure. Which one? Oh,
I think it was Jim Skinner.
Jim Skinner. Let me. Sorry, I'm not sure I know what that one is, Mo. Jim Skinner. Oh, yeah, the $10 super chat you were talking about. Yeah, okay.
In exchange for protections from lawsuits restricting athletes to 5-year eligibility, no 5-year independent stays for new members, and a cap on NIL, the Big and SEC will agree to 20 school size cap. Listen, if the cap is 20 and this law passes somehow, which, again, just getting past the Senate, guys, it's still got to get through the House. Still got to get through reconciliation. Still got to make it to the president's desk and get his signature. It's going to be tough because when they come back, it's the lead up to the election and nobody wants to do anything.
No, they want to be electioneering. That's all they want to do.
Nobody wants to do anything that's going to get brought up on the campaign trail.
No, not one thing.
And then after that, you've got what's known as a lame duck session where we've had the elections. We know these congressmen are leaving. We know these congressmen are coming in. Nothing gets passed in a lame duck election. Or a lame duck cycle. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but I mean, I would listen. The PCSA, Big Ten, and SEC might sign off, might get it through the Senate. Next year's legislative branch, I think it's predicted that Democrats will flip the House.
Yep.
And the Senate is going to be razor thin. There's going to be a lot of things in here that I think a lot of those Democrats coming in do not want.
Yes.
They want
half of the deal. The 5-year eligibility thing they hate. They don't like the limitations on transfer restrictions. Anything that has to do with athletes, pretty much, Democrats are going to be against those provisions that inhibit them, and which I'm fully on board with. I think a lot of those things are draconian. The 5-year and 5 thing with 1 or 2 exceptions is extremely exclusionary. I hate that. So, yeah, we'll have to see, but I think we're in big trouble. Last thing I wanted to say about these 10 gifted memberships, again, thank you so much, Ryan. We appreciate you so much around here, is if you received a new membership, and you got it for free just to show up and watch us tonight, consider giving somebody else one and push that thing down the road. Pay it down early, and you will have good karma in your life in this next week. You'll have good things come to you, to those that are unselfish. So thank you so much, Ryan. We appreciate that. And if you received the gift of membership, consider becoming a new member. And out of here we go to Greg Disney's Adventures. super fan also of the Ohio State Buckeyes, gifted 1 college football mafia membership, Moen.
Let's go.
Yes,
Let's go, that's
very
right.
intelligent man from Greg is supporting the Ohio State Buckeyes. He knows where it's at. That gifted membership went to Shooter, Texas, a Baylor fan.
Oh, yes. I love
Baylor
Shooter,
Bears
Texas.
in the house. Shooter, Texas. If you are there in
Absolutely.
the chat, make sure you thank our friend Greg's Disney Adventures. If you're watching on demand, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. People check there too. Always good to say thank you for that. And now you have access to our entire catalog of members-only videos and members-only live streams. And like I said, I think we're doing a members-only live stream next week too. So going to get a lot of bang for your buck this July. And in August, if it's been as busy as July, I don't know how we're going to survive it, guys. I might.
I don't know either, man.
We build up for a massive 2026 season is going to be awesome. So thanks
Absolutely.
again,
Can I
Greg's
give
Disney Adventures. You can do
Can I
whatever
give
you
a
want.
sounder to Jim Skinner real quick?
Sure.
Do it.
Ute is out of control, though. I'm just telling you right now.
Okay.
Man,
He is out of
It's
control.
hard to keep
tonight.
up with Brutus, man. He dances.
I'm just assuming you're American, Jim. I don't know what team you root for, so.
Tell us in the chat. We need to know.
Okay. I guess. Becky Go Huskies, $2 super chat. Ute has convinced me Utah State to the Big Ten.
No!
Salt Lake
You to the
City.
Aggies. Get it.
Becky,
The
have you ever
Gold-
been to Utah? They're actually a different DMA. They aren't the Salt Lake market. They're Box Elder County. It's Wasatch County. Oh, northern. It doesn't get Salt Lake. It's on the other side of mountains. It's actually in a different area. So, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen anyway. But thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Becky. And then Skaven, yes, go Big Red in the house representing the Nebraska Cornhuskers, member for 20 freaking months. Thank you so much, Skaven, yes. Make the offer to Notre Dame, and if they don't bite, let them be in the best of the rest. They're not going to join the conference. Unless they take away CFP access, Notre Dame's never joining the conference. I've got a standing bet of 20 new memberships if that was ever to happen, but it's never going to happen. So anyways, thank you very much for that. We appreciate you, Skaven. Yes. Yeah, we're through that. So I think what I wanted to do is we circle back. Moen, did you have anything else you wanted to release fresh tonight? Nobody else is covered. Before I jump back to a few other news things, since we aborted that earlier in the show.
There were other things discussed, but I can't discuss those. Maybe when the embargo is lifted on me from him, I will absolutely speak on it, but the embargo is still on that.
Okay.
But I do want to play some stuff for Greg's
Go
Disney
ahead.
Adventure. Here you go.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
And then obviously Skaven, yes, who I can't play the song for because Nebraska thinks I'm making millions of dollars off of their song. So you're going to get Go Big Red.
No, Go Big Red. Man, I miss that. I really, really do. All right. The milk. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. This post from Mitt Winter, and then we always give credit where credit. There's everybody's favorite SEC coach, coach of the year last year. No, I don't know if he was that, but here's the link to this X post. But this is from Mitt Winter replying to one of Lane Kiffin's responses on Twitter. It's a quote, actually, I think. Instead of wasting time with the things like the PCSA and the SCORE Act, people should be working on a bill that brings collective bargaining. Yes. Collective bargaining to college football. Then you could have these kinds of things. And those things are LSU head coach Lane Kiffin is calling for an NIL rookie cap to be implemented across the sport. And while talk of a salary cap could lead to potential antitrust issues, Kiffin believes something must be done to rein in rising costs of players that have never played a down of college football. Our system is a little bit screwed up, in my opinion. Thursday morning from the 2026 SEC football kickoff media days, which went 4 days. Man, that went so long. I cannot believe it was 4 days. The kids that haven't played at all coming out of high school should be making less. There should be freshman or rookie cap for how much they can make, and then have max slots per position that they make. Then they're signed to a multi-year contract. So no, you do really get into a building through high school players, because that guy could stay longer. Thoughts on Lane Kiffin and Mitt Winter here?
Collective bargaining is the way. It is the
Yes.
way. It's the only way to prevent excess black market spending, which is going on right now. And we're looking at $50 million rosters. That is right,
Yep.
folks. 50 million or over. Like,
Yep.
shoot, I mean, we're probably paying more than the NHL now for rosters, I'm sure, in like some other sports. It's absolute insanity. It's not going to change until a collective bargaining agreement is put in place and you take away the black market NIL. That's the only way. So it has to happen if this game's ever going to get healthy again. The problem with that is it's going to have to be conference by conference. You can't do it for the entire NCAA. And so it facilitates the breakaway discussions again, which those outside the Power 2 despise, because then you get left out of that little club. So it's a pickle.
Moen, you want to add anything to that?
I don't have a pickle sounder, but I'm definitely going to get one.
Okay.
Pickle,
All right.
the pickler.
I think I'm just going to clip you saying, it's a pickle.
Dude, stop
There you
it.
go.
Moan.
There you go. And then this will be my last news article, and then we're going to get back into your comments and questions. Continue to post those in the comment slot. This is from one of my followed people, somebody I disagree with pretty much everything he says. NIL is not NLI. This follows up on with that video clip I played earlier of the UNLV coach saying you can buy their basketball program. We're just looking for millions of dollars to buy college basketball. Now, this again is everybody's favorite. Is begging too strong a word? I don't know. Coming out of ASU or Arizona State, head coach for college football. Let's see.
So we need to find one of these really rich people in this city to step up and stroke a check, and I'll do everything I can to make you the most famous person in the city. Like, that's really what we need. We need one person. We live in Phoenix, Arizona. You're telling me there's not one person who could stroke a $20 million check right now? There is somebody out here who can. There's somebody who can. There's somebody. And like, other people are going to sacrifice to be here. Somebody step up and be that dude to say, holy cow, what completely changed it? This person. There's somebody out there that's going to listen to this, that's going to get it forwarded it. If you know somebody who can do it, forward this message to somebody. Somebody can step up and completely take this place from the direction it's going to holy cow. And it's right here in the city.
Right here in this city of Phoenix, Arizona. Moen, what do you think about the kind of, well, I just don't think it's a good look. What do you think?
Listen, I think if there's anybody out there that can stroke a $20 million check for the college football mafia, we can go from down here to holy cow.
We can. Yep.
And, we can really start blasting it. Or if you can just afford, a couple million for me, I would be happy with that. I mean, I would, the costumes so far are just kind of mid. We could really go extreme with the costumes if someone would just pay me a couple $1 million. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I mean, again, there are billionaires or millionaires that are out there that will do that. But for Arizona State, it's difficult. They've got to compete with Arizona, and Arizona has Arizona's basketball championships, or, you're basically in one huge DMA between the two of them. Most of the people who are going to be paying money are probably paying money to Arizona. Maybe reach out to Jake Plummer. I don't know how well he's invested his money in the NFL. I know he played quite a few seasons there. Reach out to Jake Plummer. See if you can't get something done there. But I don't fault coaches for saying this.
No, I don't. No, I'm not saying that at all. You do what you got to do. You
That's
do what
right.
you got to
And
do.
I think,
but
they've
I
seen
think
what-
it's just a bad look.
Well, they've seen what Cody Campbell has done for Texas Tech, and they realize that if they had somebody who was doing that for them, they could do the same. So for these Big 12 schools, especially these ACC schools that have such a huge media revenue gap with the Big Ten, you gotta do what you gotta do. And if you're not getting the media money, you're gonna have to get the billionaire money.
Yeah, that's the truth.
What do you think? You're
Moan
at a
just-
school that's
Moan just dropped the absolute truth right there. Like, what are you supposed to do if you're ASU? Cody Campbell's there spending like 20, 25, $30 million on a roster. How are you going to win in the Big 12, beat Texas Tech when that's going on and you're like at a $15, $20 million advantage on a roster? Like, what are you freaking going to do? Like, this is so far away from what we used to know for college football. It's a different sport, guys. And like, this makes total sense. I mean, there's a bunch of billionaires in Phoenix and Scottsdale. It's very affluent. The problem is they didn't go to ASU. They don't really care about football. There's a lot of other things to do. And
it's an NFL.
Phoenix,
It's an NFL town.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It's a pro sports town. And so
Yeah.
what are you going to do when your college football team needs a bunch of money and stuff and you just don't want to spend it? They're just not as passionate about ASU football. That just is what it is. What can you do is exactly what you talked about earlier in this live show, Nate, is that sell off your assets of your athletic department.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And guess what?
Agreed.
If enough schools do that, then that actually might curb donations from schools because you're seeing that everybody else is actually getting ownership and it's an investment. So why would I just pay a
Possible,
donation and make it like just a tax thing when I actually get a return? So by chance, maybe you can actually change the game a little bit by restructuring. ASU has no choice but to do what Utah did and go with the private capital or do what LSU is about to do and stuff and basically sell off through intellectual properties their most valuable assets. They have no choice. They've got to do it. Unless you've got a billionaire, you've got no choice. You've got to do it if you want to be competitive or else if you're in the power two. That's just the world we live in. That's the deficit. That is the state of the Big 12 and the ACC right now and everybody else.
Well, and let's just be perfectly open about Cody Campbell is an exception. He is not the rule. Yeah. Every school has millionaire and I don't know, maybe a lot have billionaire, whatever, people that are passionate about sports, but they're not writing checks like Cody does. There's not activists. They don't care about it so much that they're going to underwrite $100 million annual donations to support these massive school programs. So I completely agree with everything you just said. I think they do need to do that. They sell off the names to the football field and to the parking lot and to the snack stand and anything you can sell, anything that's not bolted down or tied up in some legalese with the university. I would do that, like UNLV is talking about doing, to become relevant in a sport. So I completely agree with that. Moan, what are your thoughts on those couple things?
Yeah, I think you have to look outward and sometimes inward for new venture capital ideas. I mean, Ohio State just put new luxury suites right down on the field. I retweeted the article earlier this week. It's a completely modular structure, puts luxury suites down there, I think 14 luxury suites, and then they have seats on top of it. Each one of those luxury suites, guys, goes for $5 million per year. That is $70 million in additional revenue for Ohio State. So, I mean, you got to look outside the box sometimes and sometimes look inside the box.
I love that. That's a great quote. Shooter, Texas, a renewed member of the college football mafia family. ASU is so strange, massive school and powerful city. How is it that they have never won a natty or even been in the running? That's in the Pac-12. Sorry, in the Pac-10, ASU was always the next year school. They did that for 40 years. Next year, we're going to be competitive next year. It's always was next year. And it wasn't until they went into a Big 12 conference where the format of the teams were built differently that they had a chance to go out there and win a conference title and compete at the national level. So this is not new for ASU. They are a professional city, and they have been starved of championship material in teams.
Go ahead, Mo.
Okay. ASU actually has been competing for a natty before. Joe Germain to David Boston broke the hearts of everybody at Arizona State when Jake the Snake Plummer looked like he was destined to bring them their first national championship. Didn't work out for them. They lost to Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. So, yeah, Arizona State has actually been in the running for a national championship. And I think they could be there again. But as you said earlier, it's a pro sports team. Or a pro sports city. It's pro sports.
Yeah.
You got the Cardinals there. You got the Suns there. Nate mentioned it too. Like, that is the case. It's going to be a struggle always in Tempe and stuff to get the attention, the eyeballs, and the excitement on ASU football. And guess who else is in that pickle, guys? Colorado Buffaloes. That prime.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
And Deion,
guess what?
Yeah. Sorry.
Utah and BYU are pro sports in this state. Pro football runs through Utah and BYU. That is everything. There's no NFL team that's going to take the place of that. It's never going to happen given Sunday play. Arizona State and Colorado are in different situations.
Echo. That's all I can say. Jack Matheson earlier in the show said, why would you, as a booster, pay $20 million to an athletic program right now? No return on your investment. Well, I would. My first comment and reply would be, well, $20 million should be an investment that is built over years. You need to put something in place, not just to win 1 year. You need to put $20 million to work for several years, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think the point is really, if you have that much money to put into something, do you want it just to be a donation, a gift, or do you want it to be investment? That's the conversation, right? With LSU, with Utah and stuff, those gifts from big boosters have now become investments rather than just gifts. So that's a good question. If I had 20 million bucks and stuff, I can make it a gift. But I really, since I'm a rich guy and everything in this scenario, I'd really like to make it an investment and make more money and actually have ownership in the IP of my athletic department. It's a game changer, guys. It's moving that way. Almost every school is going to have something like this soon.
Mo?
Yeah, hey, one man's 20 million is another man's 50 million. 20 million is not going to get a lot for a booster at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Just, it's not. And we're going to have to see where they land on MMR deals with NIL. If the PCSA somehow miraculously makes it through, which we don't think it will, but, hey, we can never say never. With God, all things are possible, as we say in Ohio. But, yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be tough to tell a guy to write a $20 million check for Arizona State Sun Devils football. You've got the Cardinals. You've got the Suns. You've got Arizona, very close vicinity to Arizona State, who has a tradition of basketball national championships. So, I mean, it's really difficult. I mean, I'm not saying this facetiously. They should reach out to Jake Plummer. He's probably the biggest living alumni they have out there right now. Reach out to him and see if there's not something he could do PR-wise to get some of these millionaires on board.
I think it does need to be bigger level than just the coach essentially, screaming. He was pretty loud in that clip for money, demanding almost, actually. Morris Simmons, valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. FSU, Miami, Clemson +1 to the SEC. So I don't think Miami, Morris, but FSU and Clemson I could see. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm with you. Miami, it's funny because this Miami to SEC conversation is getting a little bit of heat. And Moen actually a couple weeks ago recorded the video and stuff about ACC probabilities to Big Ten, and Moen brought that up, and I was like, "That's crazy! Like Miami never end up in the SEC." And Moen's like, "No, wait a second. There's been like some reconsideration about that idea, over the last couple weeks and everything. Look, I don't see it happening either, Nate. Like I think that Miami ends up in the Big Ten. I'm very, very confident of that. But like, hey, they are valuable. The SEC might want them, but do you want a 4 dip in the state of Florida? I guess like you do triple dip, I guess, if you had the SEC with FSU, Miami, and Florida. So you'd have 3 teams. Is that too many for one power conference?
It's Florida.
Yeah, in that ACC video I talked about with I said there is a defend the South strategy where the SEC absolutely defends every square inch within the South. But as the saying goes in Florida, the further south you get, the more north it is. So I don't really think Miami fits into that, but I have to take it, there's still a chance. I have to play that possibility, but I don't think it's very big. Florida State and Clemson, Morris, I don't think are the top picks of the SEC. I think they're more interested about getting into North Carolina, preferably with UNC. They may have to take North Carolina State to accomplish that, and I think they would if it accomplishes that. And then you've got Virginia Tech, Virginia. Well, if Big Ten says Virginia over Duke, you can take Virginia Tech. That leaves one spot in a 4-team thing for the SEC. So it's either going to be Florida State or Clemson. I don't think it's going to be, I think North Carolina and Virginia markets are more impressive and more desired by the SEC right now than brand names.
Wait, did you say that Clemson and FSU won't get in the SEC? Is that kind of what I heard you say?
I'm saying if they are forced to take North Carolina State, which I think,
I think they will.
North Carolina State is at the height of their legislative power in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah,
so if they force that issue, and UNC just tells the SEC, hey, we can't go without North Carolina State, I think the SEC would invite North Carolina State to get North Carolina. Then you come to the Virginia issue. Again, I mean, if the Big Ten takes Duke, and Virginia has a situation where they say, well, we can't go with unless something's done with Virginia Tech, I think the SEC would be put in the box of having to take both Virginia schools. But they got to get into those markets.
Yeah.
Those markets are important. They've already got a team in Florida. They've already got a team in South Carolina. South Carolina is a very small state. And South Carolina, actually, USC actually brings in quite a bit of money to the state of South Carolina, and it gets good ratings.
Mississippi has a population like a third of, like 10% of LA. Yeah. And they have 2 schools in their in the SEC. So
they do, but those are early members. I mean, look, the Big Ten adds Notre Dame. They would have 3 schools from the state of Indiana, which is one of the least populated states.
I think it. So FSU, Clemson, North Carolina State. I've convinced myself of that.
You don't think they would go into Virginia for Virginia Tech?
I don't. I think Virginia Tech, I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to be forced by those politics you were just talking about, that I think they would be forced to take North Carolina State. North Carolina State is a very good school. To go to the SEC would be great for them. They're not an ideal fit. We have to be honest. They're also not one that would be instantly competitive. I think Virginia Tech fits that mold more. Because of the coach they hired and all the new money they're getting into that program. North Carolina State's actually won more games recently. But at the end of the day, I think it's stupid, but the Wolfpack backpack is absolutely, it has never gone away. And I've just convinced myself more lately, the SEC is just, I think they're going to be tired of it, and they'll just throw their hands up and say, fine, whatever, let's just get this done. That's how I look at that.
But you go to 22 if you're the SEC. If you've got to take NC State, then why don't I go UVA and VT? with FSU.
I mean, you could.
You could just go to 22.
You could.
You got to get in Virginia. Like, you have to do it. They need to expand out as contiguous. You want to get in the DC area, to the SEC. I don't know if you're going to take NC State with UNC, then why not take Virginia Tech with UVA and go to 22?
Great questions. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good question. Kenneth Maynor, $5 super chat. Kenneth, if you don't know, is a super fan of both the East Carolina Pirates and the Florida Gators. $5 super chat. I'm a member of the Mafia, college football Mafia family. $5 super chat. SEC would punt on Virginia to go all in on the state of North Carolina. It's a better fit culturally.
That's exactly what you said, Nate. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. But Moen, do you want to say anything more about that?
I think Virginia Tech's an SEC school. To me, that's a no-brainer, especially if the Big Ten grabs UVA, frees up Virginia Tech. Virginia's governor says, hey, they're both going to a Power 2. I'm happy with that. But, I mean, again, I think I tend to agree with both of you guys. I think North Carolina is that important to them that they take North Carolina State. And North Carolina State's not a slouch either. I think North Carolina State fits more culturally with the SEC than North Carolina does. And North Carolina State is probably going to get AAU status.
I could see that.
Here in a few years. Again, they have very good research numbers coming out of there. Better research numbers than Oregon had. Better research numbers than quite a few people have in the AAU. So I think North Carolina State will be AAU in a few years, which the SEC has shown a general desire to get more AAU schools in there. Florida State being the same. Clemson's probably got a little longer road to get AAU. So,
right.
I think North Carolina is that important to the SEC.
So before I go, I've got just a few more minutes here. I am just looking back on our earlier conversation and the news that you dropped that is unique to us. It was newsbreaker beginning of the show with Moen. We did not talk timeline at all. And maybe that's just because people are tired about talking possible timelines. Everybody knows the media when the media contracts are going to be renegotiated and these other things. I'll give my answer last. What kind of a timeline do you see for these expansions of these two conferences?
It's before December of 2027 for everything.
Okay.
Probably November. So really it's going to be it's probably July of next year, 1 year from now. I say 12 months to 17 months, but no later than December of 2027. The reason for that, so it looks like you got to see you're announcing and how when you announce to leave your conference, what's that period of time before you can actually step into the new conference, right?
Right.
You can pay your exit fees and everything, but you actually have a runway for an ACC school of 12 months or basically another year in the league. Then you can move over after exit fees. Your notice period is 12 months. In the Big 12, if it's KU that got in, it's an 18-month notice period. It's longer. There's 6 months more for Big 12. So Utah would have to announce if they got in 2029 Big 10 by November of next year. And so that'd be the latest that anybody would go to. And so it's going to happen 12 to 17 months. That's the answer to it.
Moen, what do you think about that?
I agree with that logic. I think the Big Ten would definitely want this to be closer to 2029 than anything else, because at that point they're going to be out there pitching hard for a new media deal. And it'd be good to say, hey, we want to add this brand Miami that's going to bring big viewership. You want to add, let's say they add Duke, gets us in the North Carolina market, huge basketball presence. And at that point, Notre Dame may have made their decision. I don't know. It could be a situation where Big Ten and SEC both have to expand before Notre Dame makes their decision. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I like the timeline that you came up with.
I think more than likely it's probably going to be that timeline as well. I do see it's hard for me to see the media deal and new additions to the conferences happening at the exact same time, and the new negotiations for the Big Ten conference, or sorry, the Big Ten media deals, is 29-30. So you have to have something done fairly quickly, regardless. I think there is a chance it's 228, just because the North Carolina might not be able to buy out of what would it be at that point? 80, 90 million. It hasn't gone down all the way to 75 yet. There's a few years remaining before that would happen. So there is I think there is a chance it might be in 28, but I think there's definitely, I think we could say 18 months very easily. There's an envelope of time. It could be by the end of next year, as you guys both mentioned, and I would support that. I just think there is a possibility that timing. And there's also the NFL deal. Fox is negotiating the NFL deal. It's hard for me to imagine that they essentially sign off on new additions to the Big Ten at the same time that they're doing these other things, trying to get these other contracts done. So the media deal timing, I think, does have a little bit to do with this.
Yeah, 2029, 2030 for Big Ten. That's the big time, right? Like that's the timeline you're looking at. And that's why next year you can look at it July. I think it's going to be July through November of next year. That's your timeline. It could be a little bit sooner, a couple months sooner than that, but like it's going to get so hot after next season ends, guys. Like in December, after the football season ends, it's going to be madness. Like it's just leaking stuff. It's going to be absolute realignment madness. It's off-season.
I can't
oh my
wait.
gosh.
I can't wait. We've been doing this a few minutes, and every time we do it more, it's just that much more exciting. I appreciate you guys. Great work this week. Thank you, everybody out at the College Football Mafia land. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being valuable members of the College Football Mafia family. And welcome to all those new or returned members that joined us tonight. I really, really appreciate you. We do this for you. It's not the reverse. You're not doing this for us. So please let us know if there's more things we can do for you. Contact us on Twitter. You see our contacts right there. And if you're watching on X, do us a favor, or even on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Do a little work for us. It's free. Open up another window and go to College Football Mafia on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. It helps us continue to grow, and we are exploding right now again. And we really appreciate everybody that does that. So thank you, Ute. Thank you, Moen. And I just want to tell everybody, think about somebody, send somebody a text or a phone call. Let them know you're thinking about them. You will make their day. Thanks, guys. We will see you later. Oh, sorry. Go Bombers. Go Cougs. Peace out. Let's do that. We'll see you later.
Moan.
Let's see if Nate closes his stream. Oh, okay. He didn't close his stream.
Got it. We're rolling, Moan.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Mo, we might be, I don't know your timelines. We might be able to go into overtime if activity allows it and everything. Just saying that we might be able to do that, at least on my end. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. I have to take the furs off. You have no idea how warm furs are until you wear them for a while. But I want to bring up some comments here I saw real quick. I just want to clarify something. And one, I want to get Caleb Ramirez out there since this is one that he didn't read. Moen, did you ever find out about the OSU jersey patch and how much they're getting? We're still working on that, but it is more than just a jersey patch, Caleb. It's a long-term deal and has lots of ins and outs. For those that did not hear the news, it was leaked via a photo this week that Ohio State's jersey patch sponsor is going to be J.P. Morgan Chase, the largest bank in America. And if you exclude the Chinese communist-owned banks, it's the largest bank in the world. Very interesting to see what that number is. If that number's better, if it's $20 million or more per season, hey man, Brett Yormark, he's going to have some splaining to do.
Are you saying that Ohio State's jersey patch number could be more than the Monster TV, the Big 12 Monster TV patch for $20 million, like $650 per school? The Ohio State jersey patch alone is going to be more than the Big 12 conferences? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I said it.
What a deal, man. What a freaking
let me find
deal.
this. I'm trying to find this comment from Mama Duck here. I hope I didn't pass it. Notorious MDC from Slim Pickens, South Carolina. According to Moen, FSU and Clemson will be stuck in the ACC so Notre Dame can stay put. I did not say that. I said if the SEC only has 4 and UVA is not picked by the Big Ten, does the SEC say let's take the 2 schools in North Carolina and the 2 schools in Virginia? We need the markets more than we need the brands. I don't know if that's going to happen. If the Big Ten takes Virginia and SEC takes Virginia Tech and it's still a limit of 4, that opens things up. But another thing I was told by Mr. Wizard was the Big Ten has plans at 20, 21, 22, and 24.
Mm-hmm.
But 19 is not... 19 is not going to cut it. It's just, 19. It's not. And they had an agreement with, apparently, that 20 number that Ross Dellinger put out, that was a cruise negotiated thing with Big Ten and SEC. It got to the Cantwell side of it, and she struck it down and said, no, it has to be 19. So it's like a game of Pong over there on Capitol Hill. They're bouncing it back and forth to see who does what as far as that goes. But I want to thank everybody. We're going to be on the air here for probably another half hour or so. Again, if you want to support, you can click that little cash icon, leave a super chat, leave a super sticker, or be like our friend Ryan Willie and gift us some membership. Those memberships help us open up new emoji slots and all kinds of new features for you. So consider doing that, or consider becoming a member yourself. All those through the little cash icon. Now let's get to some comments, you.
Man, these comments are absolutely on fire right now. Some seriously good ideas and realignment. A little bit of elbows being thrown and everything, but it's Friday night, y'all. This has been a big-time show. Moen actually dropped some news that nobody else has talked about. Nobody else will. Moen, we just give a quick overview of really the news that you dropped earlier so folks that joined us late can hear that. Super important news in the realignment world. I'll tell you why after Moen mentions this.
Yes, talking to my friend in Columbus, it is down to the Big Ten has Miami in a solid position, and it's come down to it's either going to be Virginia or Duke. They're not going to take both. They can only take one. There's people in the Big Ten who want Virginia. There's people in the Big Ten who want Duke. Obviously, we talked about Duke quite extensively on this channel. The personalized pitch for each school, all that stuff that went on. So, you know, we'll have to see how that all plays out. But yeah, it's potentially Virginia and Duke in the ACC, and they're still fighting on this cap. We got to ultimately see what this cap winds up at in the PCSA language. Again, we're not 100% sure that the PCSA passes. It probably won't. The odds are against it, but we can never say never. But the interesting thing is, if it doesn't pass, it would be a very interesting framework for a potential new bill. So whatever that cap is could be just carried over into the next bill, and it should be very interesting.
So like Moen just said, the intel, the information, the source from the Big Ten Wizard is
Mr.
that
Wizard.
either you know what, Mr. Wizard to Moen to Wild Ute, it's the Big Ten Wizard, baby.
Okay.
So I've got a question, Moen. Can you put up a poll for our community to ask, is it going to be Duke or Virginia in the Big Ten? Which one's going to get the Big Ten and which one's not? If anybody needs some help with this decision too, if you need maybe a little bit of visual, Wild Ute put something together for you too. Moen's putting this poll up and stuff. Just keep in mind, let's look at our first tier. So the first school on the board here, the Duke Blue Devils. What makes Duke attractive outside of this bikini right here? Duke is in an elite market that the Big Ten wants. It has elite academics. It is AAU. Gets international students. Its boosters are rich, rich, rich. It will pay its way in SMU style. It's making tailored pitches to Big Ten schools. It wants it. It's got the biggest basketball brand, arguably, in the whole NCAA. The Duke Blue Devils sitting in the attractive state of North Carolina. And then our second school under consideration, and this is new right here, Moan. So you'll have to tell me what you think of this, okay? I tailor-made this one for you. The UVA Cavaliers right here with the slender swimsuit. What do you think of that, Moan? Do you like that? Does that fit well?
Hey, listen, the swords in that area, maybe back off a little bit. We don't want to do any damage to that area in particular. We want to keep that intact. I do like the swimsuit, but maybe just drop the swords. Maybe just drop the swords if you would do me that kindness. And, I like that swimsuit a lot more. Again, I think it's a little old-fashioned, but...
it's always old-fashioned, Moan, for you. So not everyone can have the Duke bikini, man. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got like a pocket in the front. What are you going to do with a pocket on a swimsuit? Seriously, what are you going to put in that pocket? You don't need a
I have
pocket
no
on a
idea, but this
swimsuit.
is a very slimming swimsuit for Virginia. Look, Virginia, why are they attractive outside of this picture? Well, I mean, they are in a very, very good market that is very affluent. They are the academic snobs of the East. They're kind of like the Cal Bears, Cal Berkeley out on the West Coast here. They have history. They've got money. They've got great basketball. The Big Ten's wanted them and invited them before, and they turned down Big Ten. Maryland got in when that happened. So there's a little bit of history there. And the Big Ten loves, when they have a desire for a school, they keep going after them over and over and over again. There's no such thing as rejection for the Big Ten Conference. Just look at Notre Dame and Big Ten. But Virginia Cavaliers here, with the swimsuit, slimming, everything. Let's go. Who is it going to be? I wonder what our audience is going to choose. Is it going to be Duke or Virginia that's getting into the Big Ten?
Well, with that pornography that you produce, I'm sure that it's probably going to be Duke, but we'll see. We shall see. We got a couple super chats that rolled in here. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate that. Evil Badger Ryan Willie says, Mark Rogers is an idiot for thinking that the SEC is still the best conference based on rankings. Big has dominated the SEC in the playoffs. Yeah, but you got to remember something, Ryan. When the SEC loses in the playoffs, it didn't matter. They had people sitting out. Yeah. Their coach was leaving, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, those same SEC teams, if they had won in the postseason, they would have been the best teams ever. But as Brett Bielema, as our national treasure in the Big Ten, Coach Burt pointed out, Illinois has beaten two SEC teams over the last 2 years, both Tennessee and South Carolina in postseason games. So, hey, man, it's, you can walk the walk, but you can talk the talk, but you got to walk the walk. And Big Ten did very, very well in SEC matchups in the postseason.
I don't know how you can justify that right now.
Who's the best conference, you?
It's Big Ten. But the thing is, it's the top of the Big Ten. That's the best part of it all, right? There's more depth in the SEC, but the best teams are in the Big Ten. The top of the Big Ten, Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon. Right there, those three are the best teams in college football. Take those over Georgia, Texas, any day. So I think that the elites in the Big Ten right now are dominating college football. It's evident by the championships, even with Michigan's championship. Shoot, Kyle Whittingham over at Michigan. Oh my gosh, man! The Big Ten's absolutely loaded with programs. SEC's got really solid depth, but it's lost the elite. And until it starts winning championship game, I'm not going to change that thought process. It's 3 consecutive years of Big Ten national championships. You cannot argue that SEC's better when they haven't won a national championship in 4 years.
Yeah, I think it's very, very plausible that Oregon wins the championship this year, and we could have 4 years in a row of different Big Ten teams winning the national championship. I think the Big Ten is the better conference. I agree with you at the top. The top 3 programs, Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon, are elite. I think they're better than the top 3 teams in the SEC. And I'm just basing that on the field, what we've seen on the field. So, you know, I agree with you, Evil Badger. I think it's stupid, but, you know, the SEC needs to do something so that they can get an erection at night. So just let them continue to think that.
I'm surprised that Mark has that take too. Because, yeah, I mean, Mark, I think that Mark's more of a Big Ten guy than an
Well,
SEC
he is a Big
guy.
Ten
So.
guy, but I mean, a lot of people, a lot of talking heads want to make this intelligent kind of argument that you made that, well, the SEC is tougher from top to bottom. It may be, but I mean, if you've got 3 powerhouse schools in your conference that all have a shot at winning, I mean, I think those 3 schools are in the top 5 for odds to win the national championship this year. So Kurt Signetti got Indiana its first 5-star player. Its first 5-star player.
Yeah.
Indiana has never had a 5-star player recruited. Never. And he's got that. Signetti ain't slowing down at Indiana.
No.
You've got Dante Moore, and Dan Lanning is continuing to spend Phil Knight's money. You've got Dan Lanning out in Oregon. You've got Ohio State. Ohio State is just, you look up consistency in the dictionary. There's a picture of Ohio State. And then you've got Kyle Whittingham coming in at Michigan. You know the things he can do. He can get that program settled, get a good foundation for it moving forward. Matt Campbell's going to need a few years at Penn State, but I think Matt Campbell's a great hire. He's a guy who was able to do less or do more with less. Now he's going to be able to do even more with more because he's going to be able to attract a lot of kids to come to Penn State. So, and then let's say the Big Ten gets Miami. Mario Cristobal, they played in the national championship game last year. That could be another huge powerhouse added to the wheelhouse of the Big Ten. So to me, the Big Ten's a better conference. The fact that you're better top to bottom, fantastic. Do it in the postseason, though. You have not done it in the postseason.
Nobody cares if you're better top to bottom. They care about who wins championships. The Pac-12 died for that reason. Everyone was good. There was so much balance and everything, so much parity. Nobody cares unless you're winning championships. Your parity doesn't matter because it's not the best. And when you haven't won 3 consecutive national championships, it's very clear. So prove us wrong, SEC. Go do it. I don't think it's going to happen this year or next year or the year after for NIL reasons. That's a different conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you for that super chat, Ryan. I've already played all my Wisconsin stuff, so I'll just play a promo for the show.
Hey, it's Elon Musk. When I'm not busy contemplating the universe or raking in cash, I'm tuning into the Big Freakin' Friday show with Oot, Moen, and Bomber on the College Football Mafia. It's a wild ride. Catch the excitement, folks.
Thank you, Elon Musk. Now, unfortunately, we did have to pay Elon for that. So don't tell Nate, but there's going to be a $5 million hole on the accounting for the month of July.
Nate's not going to be happy about that.
Thank you for the super chat, Ryan. I share the same opinion as you do, my brother. Becky Go Husky says we need to talk about the swimsuits. We really do. It's
that is a slimming.
All right, can we take the swords off of there? Maybe put them to the side, or
what's the
something
problem
like
with the
that?
swords? What's the problem with the swords?
Look where the swords are.
Yeah, that's the legs. The swords are the legs, man.
Well, make them look like the legs.
That's the legs for the UVA logo.
Where are
with
the knees?
The sword.
Where are the knees?
There's no knees here. It's just the legs here. Like the knees actually go the opposite way.
So they're
There's the
dislocated
feet where like
in
that
the legs.
sword
They're
handle is,
dislocated
man.
they're dislocated at the pelvis and just jammed.
I don't
in
know
there.
why you guys are shading me. This is fitting wise. This is the best one I've ever produced.
I'm just saying.
Ever.
I think it would be even better if you did it with just the V. I think everybody would feel more comfortable. I think Mama Duck Clemson Tiger would feel more comfortable. I think everybody here we all crossed our legs when we saw that picture. Flip them swords out. If you want to make them legs, I'm fine with that. But dislocated legs crossed over one another, it just doesn't work for me. I like my women not to have dislocated legs separate from their body.
In all fairness to Becky, to Mama Doc, look, my wife actually saw me putting this picture together before the show, and she's like, "What the heck are you doing?" I said, "It's a long story." So they are probably 100%. You're probably 100% right. At this point, it's just obsession.
Yeah, don't worry. Ute's going to be in marriage counseling, and his wife's going to bring up him putting swimsuits on college football logos. Thank you for the super chat, Becky. We do appreciate that. We'll do another promo.
Yo, it's your boy Eminem, a.k.a. Marshall Mathers, in the house. These three dudes, Moen, Bomber, and Ute, are sicker than any freestyle I could spit, no doubt. It's the Big Freaking Friday show. Let's get it popping and blow the roof off.
Thank you, Eminem. We do appreciate your taking the time to cut that promo for us. Buckshot Kid says Duke can join the Big without taking any money for years. UVA cannot beat that offer.
Oh my gosh.
It's true. I mean, it definitely is true.
Hey, Moan, we just got a massive super chat.
We did, and I'm going to get to it. I just got to get sounders for people played here.
Stan, don't you know the first law of physics? Anything that's fun costs at least $8.
Thank you for being a member for 18 months, Buckshot Kid. Huge
Let's go.
support. Thank you. Thank you. Greg Flugar says, Gophers start camp on August 3rd. Badgers should just call it quits on August 3rd.
Whoa.
Damn.
Where's
we got
Goldie?
some Minnesota elbows being thrown at the Badgers. Look at that. Man, that Gopher looks like he's on speed or something.
Dude, we got to put Flugar's head on this Gopher.
Hey, if AI keeps advancing, I might be able to do that. Put Greg's head on that bot. Yeah, that body's way too skinny for Greg. He keeps posting photos of Drew Carey on Twitter. I think he needs to offer Drew Carey an apology. But thank you, Greg. We appreciate that. Let's see, Greg. Here we go.
Whoa. There's still plenty of meat on that bone. You take this home, throw it in a pot, add some broth, a potato. Baby, you got a stew going.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
And then we got this massive super chat from our friend C. Curtis. $50.
Oh, my
the
gosh.
Grant, our reigning General Grant, has taken Richmond. He has taken control of the college football mafia. C. Curtis with the $50 super chat. Thank you, C. Curtis. The Big Ten needs dynamic scheduling with a single protected rivalry. With dynamic scheduling allows balanced schedule strength, maximize television inventory, preserve tradition, and ensure every school regularly plays the conference's premier programs. I don't disagree with you, but I think the first thing you got to do is add more premier programs, which is why you have to add a Miami. 5 national championships. They were in the wilderness for about 20 years there, but they are back now. So I think that's important too. If you add Notre Dame, that's another one. The interesting thing, though, is if you add these schools, like Penn State definitely wants to be a permanent rival of Miami. And I like that. That brings me back to the days of, the 1980s where Miami was playing Penn State in bowl games. So I do like that. But you add a Notre Dame, too. Notre Dame's going to be the questionable one. Because I don't think you can bring back all the Notre Dame rivalries each and every season. I think USC should be their permanent rival, but
no,
I don't think we're going to get Michigan, Notre Dame every season. I don't. And Notre Dame's still probably going to have some flexibility to schedule like Navy out of conference and.
I think Notre Dame and Stanford really need to be that protected rival. Notre Dame and Stanford.
Okay.
Because USC already has somebody else coming in the Big Ten that they absolutely need that rivalry game reinstated with. So I'm saying that, man.
Okay. Ute is trying to dreamcast or whatever wishcast.
Wish casting, Moan.
Wish casting is
wish
bomb.
casting to you.
Yeah. Ute cannot abide a cap of 20 or 22. He needs that cap to be 24.
Wait. Hey, you know what? If you're a bubble team at 22 or 23, there's a chance at 22. There's a really good chance at 22.
There's a moonshot. There's a moonshot at 22 for Utah, but I think they would. They're most comfortable for Utah and Kansas would be 24.
Okay. You mind if let's just bring up Jayhawks here, right? Like so I did watch Flugar's live stream. Go check it out. Peek around the corner. Holy Smokes Theater update. Amazing episode, right? And Greg broke out like his new tiers, right? His new tiers, and KU is in both the SEC tier and the Big 10 tier. Good, right? There's only a couple schools that are both. But the problem for KU is they're at the bottom of the SEC tier and near the bottom of the Big 10 tier. And so it makes it has you thinking is KU going to be like that last one that just gets left out of both scenarios and everything? Given everything that you've heard from Wizard and everything else, what's your feel on Jayhawks?
I don't know. It ultimately depends on how this plays out. I think the Jayhawks probably do suffer a little bit because of the geography. They are in the Big Ten footprint currently, obviously just south of Nebraska. But, if the Big Ten is going to 24 and they need 6 West Coast teams, I don't think they can pick up a 5th team out west and move either Kansas or Nebraska to a West Coast.
Right.
I just don't think it works geographically. So as I mentioned before, I think if they do, it's Cal +1 out there, whether it's Cal Stanford or Cal Utah. But, again, if the Big Ten adds Duke and it gets Duke to leave the Ivy League library system, maybe that's enough to convince Stanford to leave the Ivy League system. I don't know. But right now the poll is pretty close. It's 58 Duke, 42 Virginia. We're going to let that poll keep running if you have not voted on it yet. If the Big Ten had to make a choice today, as a voter, what would you pick? And I promise I won't spam you with text messages and emails asking for donations. We just hold the votes here, and then we're done with it. I promise.
Oh my gosh. C. Curtis, thank you for this massive super chat. We so appreciate you and all the rest of the community. I love this community, man. It's amazing being able to be a part of this community, and just appreciate you all and everything, especially donating like you do. So much appreciated. Much love.
Absolutely. He knows there's always money in the banana stand.
There's always money in the banana stand. Don't touch it.
See, we got some older ones here. Let's get some more of these for C. Curtis. Here we go.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Thank you, Homer.
Give him some milk.
We
need some milk, Moen.
Do you know what I am saying? I'm a bad man. You hear me? Oh, sweet. Student athletes. Oh, that is brilliant, sir.
And then C. Curtis dropped us another $10 super chat.
Let's go.
Let's go, C. Curtis. Dollar bill, y'all. $10 super chat says must include a 10-game conference schedule, a P4 game against the ACC and Big 12, and a single G6 opponent as well. Again, I think the P4 game against the ACC and Big 12 is going to be difficult, especially since the SEC and Big 10 are still working on a scheduling agreement.
Oh, gosh.
I don't think that's going to be all teams in the Big 10 versus all teams in the SEC, but, I think for both of them, for their TV partners to get the most money, they're going to try and put marquee matchups. Texas, Ohio State did huge numbers last year. Ohio State at Texas this year, I imagine it's going to do huge numbers. Obviously, coming out of that, whoever wins that, that game, based off of ESPN's FPI, I think the AP is probably going to put Ohio State and Texas 1-2. For the second year in a row, Ohio State, Texas is going to be a number 1 versus number 2 matchup early in the season. I think that gets huge numbers for them. Again, Ohio State already has agreements with Alabama and Georgia for future out-of-conference games. But I think if the Big Ten scheduling agreement does happen, I think you're probably going to get the best 8 Big Ten schools versus some of the best 8 ACC schools, and that might play into making sure that rivalry games are protected. For example, if the Big Ten gets Virginia and the SEC gets North Carolina, I have to imagine as part of the scheduling agreement that rivalry gets maintained. It's the oldest rivalry in the South. Same's true if Georgia Tech got in the Big Ten and Georgia was in the SEC. I think that would have to be protected. If Kansas got in the Big Ten and Mizzou's in the SEC, I think that would become a protected rivalry. So it's going to be dependent on how many of those games need to be protected rivalries in the SEC Big Ten matchup. But I think you're going to see a push. And I know the SEC dropped some games against Big 12 games or Big 12 teams this week. But I think they did that in anticipation of a potential Big Ten SEC scheduling agreement.
The one thing that makes me want to take up smoke in Tarleton's, again, Moan, is talking about the scheduling agreement between the Big Ten and the Southeastern Conference. As a Big 12 man, I don't like that, Moan. I like C. Curtis's idea here. Like, make sure you schedule a game versus Big 12 and G6, right? Awesome, man. No problem there. But this SEC Big Ten scheduling thing needs to stop, man. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want to butt everybody else out and have a little mini super leagues. We want everybody to have a shot, right? It's not just all about money, man. What about the good of the game?
Listen, if you've got 8 to 10 of each conference, you're still got the other teams in that conference are going to need to schedule out of conference games. So, I mean, there's still an opportunity for the Big Ten to schedule Big 12 and ACC opponents. Same with the SEC. But I think for them, for their media partners especially, they want to get more money from their media partners, and the best way to do that is to ensure big-time brand versus big-time brand every single year. Alabama versus Ohio State, LSU versus Michigan, that would be a good one. The Oregon Ducks taking on the Florida Gators, that could be fun. Georgia would already be playing Georgia Tech, so we can't include them in that. But the Tennessee Volunteers playing Indiana, I mean, there's a lot of potential big matchups there. So, you know, they've got to look to their media partners, unfortunately. So it's all about that money. It's all about making that money. But, you know, here's what Grandpa Simpson would say.
I'll be deep in the cold, cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
What is that?
That's Grandpa Simpson when they quoted that his flag only had like 47 stars. He said it would be deep in the cold, cold ground before he recognized Missouri. Did the guy that does the FPI at ESPN get fired yesterday? Probably. Pat McAfee needs 60 to 65 million a year, guys. I mean, what are you going to do?
Check this out, Moan. Like, I know we've talked a bit about FPI, but I want to pull the FPI up.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at FPI. Can you see that very good, or do I need to zoom in?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, here we go. So, all right, so FPI. So we got Ohio State, you know, number 1. That's good. So you got the Texas Longhorn. There's one SEC. Number 2, the Fighting Irish. Okay. Ducks. Yep. Georgia Bulldogs. There's 2. Indiana Hoosiers. Miami. Alabama Crimson Tide at 8. LSU at 9. Texas Tech 10. 11. Texas A&M. Oklahoma Sooners 12. USC. Ole Miss. Michigan. Tennessee. You know what? That seems kind of in line. FPI doesn't seem completely out of bounds now. It's not like every single SEC team's in the top 5, right? I don't know. Maybe this FBI guy can keep his job just for a couple years.
It's probably not even a guy. It's probably AI that they plug all these stats into, and Claude spits it out to them, and they just pay Claude $19 a month. So
it's totally Claude.
But they've got to pay Pat McAfee. I mean, that guy, he's a generational talent. Thank you for the comment, Tony. I'm going to get to some earlier comments, so some of these might be a little out of context, but we'll get to them. Bulldog Mississippi says, "Evening Mafia, good to see you,
Let's
Bulldog." Go. MDCT says it's Pickens, South Carolina, so we're going to go Notorious MDCT from Slim Pickens, named after the great actor Slim Pickens in South Carolina. Daryl CRH says Mountain Time Zone, so it's Utah and another team out west.
Yep. A lot of thinking about that.
I think there was a song in the Manuals of La Mancha that was about that. Dream,
what song?
The impossible dream.
Come on, Moen. Not impossible.
Miami is number 3 on the Big and SEC list. Okay. I think Miami's a little higher. I think Miami's in a good position.
Yeah, Miami's in
Becky Go Huskies. Becky Go Huskies. Can we please drop the pod idea? It's never happening. Pod people are real, Becky. They're real.
Wait, hold on a second. Can we talk about pods?
We can talk about pods.
Okay. So if the Big Ten Conference that is coast to coast and you are UCLA or the Washington Huskies and you have to travel cross country for most of your games, wouldn't it be advantageous for your Olympic sports to have some type of pod system of 6 without having to ship your team, your swimming team, your tennis team down to Miami likely, or Duke likely, or Georgia Tech, or Michigan, or Rutgers, or Virginia? Like, pods make a lot of sense, especially for Olympic sports. Doesn't work in football. I'm with you on that. Football, not enough games, but Olympic sports, heck yeah, it does. That's my thinking.
If you're the Big Ten and you want to go to a national conference, again, I think Ryan, Willie, and I were talking about this week. Josh Pate came out with typical Josh Pate stupidness, and it's like, well, we're just going to, and Josh Pate was a commissioner of college football. Josh Pate would do this, and he made all these regional conferences, and if the Big goes to 24, you could have regional divisions. You can get 6 West Coast teams out there to limit travel. You play all 5 teams in your pod, and then you've got 5 teams to play across. You probably got a permanent rival as a cross game, and then, there's ways it can be done. I'm not going to eliminate the pod. I know you want us to drop it, Becky, but I'm not going to eliminate that pod discussion. Just, we're going to go for a few more minutes here. I want to thank C. Curtis for that huge support that allowed us to do overtime. We'll try and...
Hey, yeah, Moen, how full is your drink right now? I'm just curious. Let's see your drink. You dry? You empty?
I got to fill up the glass again.
Just a little bit here, because I got a little bit left and stuff, and this live stream continues until we finish these drinks, man.
All right.
Unless the community wants to keep this going, man. But it's time to go. Let's get to more comments.
Until the tap runs dry.
Right.
Thank you, Becky, for the comment. Becky, of course, you can find her here on the channel. She fills in sometimes here on Big Freaking Friday show. Got to get her on a Moen After Dark. Razor Buck says, "Pimp, Moen, pimp." You know it, brother. There's my goblet.
It's not a goblet, man. It's a Glencairn glass. It's not a goblet. Dude, it's a Glencairn glass, man. Show the people your glass. That's a beautiful glass. Yeah.
Of course, Nate is, of course, the pimp around here. He is basically, if you did not know, now you will know. Nate is a Mormon, but he does have a strong pimp hand. So,
oh my gosh, you did not say that.
Hold on, I moved it to another page.
I hope you cut that one out too.
There we go.
You saying you can't control your bitch shit?
Pimpin' ain't easy. Oh, sleazy. Pimpin' ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy.
There's Nate giving his endorsement to human trafficking. Shame on you, Nate. Come on. Illini Ted says, in honor of the PCSA, at Moan is about to break out into Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
Don't go breaking my heart.
I'd probably sing Goodbye Yellow Brick Road or Tiny Dancer. But Pie and Beer Day in Utah.
Oh, man. Okay, so check it out. So it's a state holiday today in Utah. No work, really, for anybody. It's Pioneer Day, where the Mormon pioneers, landed in Salt Lake City, and this state really started. So Pioneer Day is a big day, festivals. It's kind of like a mini 4th of July out here in Utah. But folks that aren't LDS and stuff call it Pie and Beer Day. Seriously. And so you share a pie and stuff, you drink some beer and enjoy the day off. So Pioneer Day is also Pie and Beer Day.
Outstanding. Of course, we call Pie and Beer Day here in Ohio a weekday. Rock and Rant says, Big Ten apparently open to swiping right on everyone in realignment Tinder. There you go. Got another super chat here from our friend, the Evil Badger Ryan Willie.
Let's go.
Drake Lindsay will be becoming very acquainted with the turf at Camp Randall. Moen, did you see my $2 super chat? Did I miss a super chat in here?
I hope not, but let's see. Let's see if we can go find that.
Did I miss the Wisconsin will crush Minnesota? I apologize, Ryan.
Let's give him 1,000 sounders. Make it that one sound that goes.
We already did that
Sorry
one.
about that,
I don't want to double up on Sounders. So let's give him a little let him cook. Here we go.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Thank you, Ryan. I apologize for missing that one. But we'll get to this one. Drake Lindsay will become very acquainted with the turf at Camp Randall. Drake Lindsay is the quarterback from Minnesota that has terrible throwing mechanics, and you're not convincing me otherwise. He floats balls.
Are you serious?
Yeah, listen. I know the Minnesota fans are going to jump on me. Greg and Tony Lawson are going to jump on me. But listen, I don't think Drake Lindsay has good throwing mechanics. I think he throws off his back foot too often. He floats balls too often. He's going to be playing against talented secondaries this season, especially I think they play Illinois this year, and Illinois has a great secondary. I don't think they play Ohio State this year, so they'll get away from that one. But, yeah, I don't like Drake Lindsay's throwing mechanics. And I've told Greg this as well, and Greg insists that he has great throwing mechanics, but I don't see it. Thank you for that super chat, Evil Badger. So
hey, Simone, are we going to get dinged if we show a clip of his throwing mechanics off YouTube?
If you can find a clip.
I've got a clip and stuff. I haven't seen him throw it yet. It looks like he's going to throw it, though. It's the top plays. Drake Lindsay versus Purdue.
Versus
You're doing this
Purdue,
thing? Are we gonna get banned from? Forget it, man. I don't want to get banned from YouTube. We've already got to deal with that.
Versus Purdue, everybody's got good throwing mechanics,
Yeah.
Thank you for the $5 super chat, Ryan Willie. We do appreciate that.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Mick Stevens says TCU Horned Frogs. There you go. All hail to the Hypno Toad. Thank you for the comment. Zachariah Tolleson 4640. I don't think I've seen you around here, Zachariah. By the way, if you're new to the channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Those help us out tremendously in the algorithm and don't cost you a thing. He says, go Clemson, tiger emoji, orange and purple emoji.
Let's go.
Jack Matheson says the Utah State games are covered on radio and TV in Salt Lake City, though.
Utah State. Yeah, man. I love Utah State. Work with a lot of Utah State folks.
Amazing Blue says you need to have a Michigan fan to be a part of this show. I kind of replied to him in the comment section, but I'll let you know. Any Michigan fan wants to come on here, I am absolutely open to that. I'm not going to say I'm not going to play anti-Michigan Sounders throughout it, but you're more than welcome to come on an episode of the Big Freaking Friday Show. We would have you on. Or an episode of Moan After Dark.
It would be really interesting to get some Michigan representation to cross-check you, Moan. You need a little cross-checking here. We've got this Utah BYU dynamic, this tension, on every Big Freaking Friday. Where's your tension, Moan? Where's your tension?
My attention's on this glass.
Yes, it is. Cheers.
Dude straight begging for money at a press conference. Well, I mean, you're going to reach the most people at a press conference, so I think that's the best spot to beg. I mean, if you're a beggar, you go to those, busy intersections. That's the best spot to go. And then you hold your cardboard sign and get your $350 a day pretending that you need money, and, then you hop in your Lexus. Hall of Fame college football with Jason Watkins. Definitely worth a watch if you have not checked him out on YouTube. Highly recommend you check him out. He says, I love when Ute calls himself a Big 12 man. It's special.
Oh, the Big 12, man. I am the Big 12 man. I am. Hail the Big 12. We will win. Your mark is our champion. Go Big 12. Go Big 12. We shall win forevermore.
Winner.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you,
Jason. Now, if Utah does live the impossible dream and makes it into the Big Ten, we'll see how much
I'm a Big 12 man. Hey,
he's a Big 12 man.
I'm a Big 12 man. We don't need to talk about that kind of stuff, Moen.
Yeah, as a wise man once said, if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with.
There's a lot of truth.
We can't tell who lives in Utah and who doesn't on the show with an abbreviation. Well, there's two people on the show that are living in Utah.
Yeah.
Morris Simmons says, can you see Florida State, Miami, Clemson in the SEC? Wow. Again, we talked about it. That's there's some strategy there. Protect the South. Did Bomber just age himself? Probably. But then again, he wasn't watching MTV with the rest of us. He was watching VH1. He was listening to the smooth sounds of Sting and Annie Lennox. You got your sounder. It was a winner.
Give him another sounder.
Winner.
Wow, winning. I'm sorry, winning. Oops, winning.
Winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I do want the Oklahoma fight song, though.
I've got it.
Like, what about that? What about the dun 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 dun? We got that tune?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jason, you're getting a threefer here.
Give him the Oklahoma tune. Nice.
And Oklahoma never hit me with a copyright request like Nebraska did. So, a few more comments here as I finish up this whiskey. We're going to do rapid fire. Jackson Johnson, what's up, CFB Mafia Nation? Thank you for joining us. Kenneth Maynard says it's Miami and Duke for the Big Ten.
Agreed.
Midnight Jacket says go Jackets at Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. You know what? You didn't do a super chat, but I'm going to give you this sounder anyway just because I like it.
Like all the jolly good fellows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer.
Frank Potter says Virginia Tech is to D.C. what Penn State is to Philly. Maryland is like Temple.
Dang.
I feel like I'm on an SAT test again. Let's not go that far. Movie Time Blue says Duke may have to partner up with Stanford. I don't think Duke would have a problem with that. Midnight Jacket says it was always going to be Georgia Tech. It took us hitting rock bottom to wake up the fan base. Hey, Brent Key's done a fantastic job
No
there.
doubt.
Got a Twitter comment here from Go Devils 3.0.
Is that a
ASU has a
thumb?
much better chance going to the Big Ten than Utah. Hey, if you're watching us on Twitter, Go Devils, if you're still there, go ahead and jump over to YouTube. Give us a like and a subscribe. It would help us a lot. Appreciate
ASU's a
your
great
comment.
school. I love being in the same conference as ASU.
CFB Upstart says, I love how Moen always puts Virginia Tech as a tag-along souvenir when, in fact, Connecticut. I don't know. I don't know if the next comment got cut off or not. UVA wants big. They don't need to do Virginia Tech any favors. Jay Chapman says no SEC expansion without North Carolina. Fair enough. Mr. Ed Wayner says Wild Youth, the NHL 2026-2027 salary cap is $104 million.
So we've got a couple of years before we'll reach that with no collective bargaining. Give it 5 years. We'll be at $100 million rosters. Maybe sooner.
Daryl CRH says, well, Stanford and Cal are in the Bay Area, which is a pro sports team. They are competing with the 49ers, Golden State Warriors, et cetera. How is that different? Notre Dame is, carrying them along. They have Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And if Notre Dame says we'll come in, but you're taking Stanford, you're taking Stanford. If they say we're coming in, but you're taking Cal, you're taking Cal. That's the difference, Notre Dame. Solar Knoll says, did Utah take the turnover chain from Miami as the most overrated team that never wins anything? Solar Knoll, I think Miami beat you guys last year. Did they not?
Man.
They played in the national championship game last year. I mean, admittedly, they have never won an ACC championship. You can always say that. But I don't know. Miami beat – I can't talk shit because Miami beat Ohio State in the playoffs.
Utah does have one officially recognized national championship.
And Miami has 5 real ones. Michael Wall says, let me educate you guys on something. ACC is not going to lose autonomy, and no school's going to the Big 12. No Big 12 will go to ACC. People need to get stuff straightened out. Well, Michael, that's a beautiful thing. As long as we're still alive in 2 to 3 years, we'll see who's right and who's wrong.
That's right. We shall see.
Coos lets us know WVU's Coliseum naming rights deal was $2 million per year. Congratulations to the Mountaineers.
Yeah, good money coming in.
Rockin' Ranch says future realignment decisions should only be decided by whether the average fan knows what the school's entrance is. Discuss. I know Miami's running through the smoke. I don't know what Virginia's is, to be honest with you. I don't know if Duke has one, to be honest with you. So I don't know.
So FSU has the Chief, right? Still coming out. And like
Yeah, they have the Seminole comes out and he throws the flaming spear into the ground. So I do know Florida State's Clemson. They run down that hill with the rock.
Yeah, that's right. Like that's what's the rock called? Don't know.
It's called the Rock at Clemson. The Big is so committed to research, they drink out of beakers. That's not true. They drink out of flasks. Flasks are much larger and hold larger volume than a beaker.
Really?
Yeah, a flask holds more than a beaker.
So beaker is like what? Like 6 ounces? 4?
No, not even.
When was the last time you actually handled a beaker?
Well, I used to cook meth, you see. I don't know, when I was a freshman in chemistry, flasks had much more volume.
Oh my.
when I was calling myself Heisenberg. Kenneth Maynard said SEC could have a regional division of North Carolina State, Clemson, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Yeah, we kind of talked about this. Rock and I did some videos over on College Football Express with NFL. We kind of tried to make an NFL college football thing with divisions, and the SEC, it got a little weird because we had like Kentucky with the Mississippi, and but definitely check that out if you got some time. It was kind of a fun video. If Utah gets in, we have to hear every show about teams milking the conference. Listen, in the Big Ten, I got news for you. Ute would be enjoying that milk in the Big Ten.
Look, there wouldn't be any milking because the payoffs be like 25%, right? Like it wouldn't be 100% payoff for a long time. So be even money. Be even money.
Rock and Rant says you get more drunk from the sugar rush with the pie than the alcohol on beer day in Utah. That's very true. The beer in Utah is like 2.7% ABV.
3.2?
3.2. I mean, that's what you start kids on in Ohio. That's
Are you No.
That's what you give your 12-year-old to drink with you in Ohio.
Oh my.
But I will say here in Ohio, you're going to make a pie. Throw some Mad Dog 2020 in there, man.
Are they still selling Mad Dog 2020 out there in Ohio?
Oh, hell yeah.
You can't find that anywhere in the West, man. Like, seriously, when you get the Rockies, there's no Mad Dog 2020 anywhere.
You can find it in California. You just got to go to some.
No, I've been to California. I can't find it, man.
Solar Noel says, I was just laughing at what Moen was drinking out of. It legit looks like it was stole from a lab. No, ordered it from Amazon. You got me some scotch. I got a scotch glass. Turns out I don't like scotch, but I like the other bottle that he got me was Crown XO, and I really like that, and I like drinking it out of this glass. It makes me.
Wait, so are you drinking Monkey Shoulder?
It makes me feel more than a low-class alcoholic. It makes me feel classy. Okay.
Are you drinking Monkey Shoulder right now?
No, I'm drinking Crown XO. Tech Time 10101 says Texas Tech to the Big Ten. Good to see you at Tech Time. Make sure you give a like and a subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. Last comment is going to come from the notorious MDCT. Think Greg is the better singer. I don't know who that's in regards to.
Oh, hail to the great Big 12.
Yeah, listen, Greg's
play
singing.
To victory.
Greg's singing has, it lacks something, and that's earplugs. By the way, the poll ended with Duke at 58%, Virginia at 42%. Poll complete on 66 votes. Thank you, everybody who voted. We appreciate that. What do you have going on this week here on the channel?
Yeah, you know what? I actually recorded a few videos with a Hokie Mark. He has an ACC website, talks a lot about ACC realignment. He's a Virginia Tech guy. Wanted to get the ACC perspective from a Hokie fan, really about realignment, Big 12 realignment, grabbing ACC schools. On the flip side, ACC schools grabbing Big 12 schools. How could it happen? What would the end results be? Recorded that earlier today. We'll release this next week. Good stuff, insightful stuff. Check it out.
And definitely, I will give my turkey call for the Virginia Tech Hokies. For myself, you can catch myself and Rock and Rant live here on the channel on Sunday night at 8 p.m. for Moen After Dark. I will probably be doing the members only stream next week. That'll be a Moen After Dark stream for members only. I don't know who my guest will be yet, but check it out. Maybe see if I can get Greg Pfluger on the channel with this. Should be fun. Try and get him before he goes on vacation. But if not, we'll figure out somebody. I always do. And then you'll have Bomber Show on Tuesday. He'll do a call-in show. And then Bomber's actually going to be doing some stuff on the channel this weekend. He has a weekend to himself, and he's looking for stuff to do, and that's what he's going to do. I want to thank everybody who helped keep the channel growing with their support tonight. College football, peek around the corner with Greg Flugar. If you're not subscribed to the Godfather Greg, make sure you do so. Becky, go Huskies. Becky, please don't steal any mopeds. Kenneth Maynard, the Pirate Gator. Ta-Town Hawk. Evil Badger Ryan Willie. Kenneth Maynard again. Bruce Harris Law, who is a new member. Congratulations, Bruce Harris. Welcome to the family. Hopefully you like all the members-only content we're putting out there. Doc Gibb, North Carolina State Wolfpack. You know what? Let's go ahead and just play it for him.
Oh!
Jim Skinner, 3723. Thank you for your super chat, Jim. It was good to see you around here. Hopefully we see you in future Big Freakin' Friday shows. And then we had Ryan Willie with the $10 or 10 membership gift bomb here on the channel. I don't know if we've unlocked another emoji yet, but we'll definitely have to check that out. Super generous, Ryan. Thank you so much. We appreciate those gifted memberships because a lot of those gifted memberships become permanent memberships once they see everything they get for their membership. So thank you for that, Ryan. We do appreciate that, sir. And then Skaven Yes Yes, who was a member for 20 months. Welcome, Skaven Yes Yes. Greg's Disney Adventure for gifting another membership. Appreciate you, Greg. Caleb Ramirez, who's been a member for 16 months. Thank you, Caleb Ramirez. Let me see. And then we had Buckshot Kid, who was a member for 18 months. Thank you, Buckshot Kid. And then we had C. Curtis, 2407, who has dropped a $50 and then a $10 super chat, $60 in super chat in one go. Thank you, Curtis. We do appreciate you. Thanks for being a part of the channel. Thanks for being a member. We really appreciate it. And then Jason, Hall of Fame College Football with Jason Watkins is the last one. Thank you, Jason. Again, if you have not checked out Jason's channel, make sure you check it out. Before we leave tonight, just a reminder, again, if you're new here, give us a like and a subscribe. If you've been here for a while and you get a lot of entertainment out of the Big Freakin' Friday show, consider telling your friends, consider telling your neighbors, consider telling the voices in your head. Whoever's got the ability to tune in on YouTube, click that like and subscribe button. It would help us out tremendously. For Moen, for Nate, for you, I want to thank you all. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you next week.